afternoon, everybody. Welcome. Sailor Nation Sports is on the air, and once again, we are broadcasting live from the entrance of Sailor Stadium, my friend.
We are, and it's one of our special pregame shows. This will be our second special one that we've done this year.
Yeah.
For a good special reason to do that.
Well, we are celebrating the 9th annual Sailor Salute.
Yes,
9 years, Joe.
9 years of doing this, and I tell you what, it has become such a community staple. I think everybody looks forward to it. Everybody expects they're going to see another great showing for the first responders and, you know, the armed forces, veterans, current active military. It's just a great community opportunity to give thanks to everybody.
Well, not only that, but we got to see the Black Hawk helicopter fly across the land over by the baseball field.
If you guys did not get a chance to see that, I did live stream that to our Sailor Nation Sports Network Facebook group. You can go back and watch that if you'd like to. That'll be on display here until halftime, and then they'll be taken off and heading back.
That's pretty cool when it takes off, too. I mean, it'll fly right over the stadium.
We'll be able to live stream that, takeoff and stuff,
But we've got a guest,
we
our
do.
First guest, and it is one of our regulars, and we love to have this gentleman on here.
And one of the architects of the Sailor Salute from 9 years ago.
Architect as well as head coach.
I've been called many things. Architect,
yes,
one of them.
Architect is
you're
now in the
an architect of this, the architect of revamping the JV program as the new head coach. Congratulations.
Yes, Mr. Mike Kozak.
Very much.
Mr. Mike
very
Kozak.
much.
And head coach Mike Kozak is joining us right now. So, Michael, thank you as always, my
I appreciate you having me, guys.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
So, fill us in a little bit about your background as far as serving our country first, and then we'll get into this great event.
Okay. So I joined the United States Marine Corps actually as a reservist in 2003. Signed up for a 6-year commitment. Got activated. I spent maybe the first year and a half on active duty and training and everything. Became a reservist. About 3 years in, I got spent a year active duty. Got deployed to Fallujah, Iraq. I was in the infantry all 6 years, so we were doing combat operations in Fallujah. In 2006, the back half of 2006, front half of 2007. Came home, finished up my tour, got out in 2009. So I've been out ever since. You got to spend 2 years in what's called IRR, where they could call you back if something pops off, but you're technically out. But you're still contractually committed, like if World War III breaks out. So officially, I was done in 2011.
Well,
I was
wonderful.
out.
Thank
Got out
you
as
again
a
for
corporal.
serving our country, Michael,
appreciate
as
it.
always.
Yeah, and I'll tell you, you know, your history that you have in all of that really played a big to-do when it came to this event and talking with your brother and, you know, at the time the athletic director. And tell us about how that came to be.
Yeah, it's kind of an interesting story because, you know, like, I don't want to take credit for it, but I was part of the early discussions. I was actually overseas when head coach Matt Kozak was the offensive coordinator for Muskegon, and they went in the state finals.
Yep.
And they won. We talked about doing like a yellow ribbon, putting a yellow ribbon on the, you know, because I was an assistant coach there until I went overseas. I don't know if we did. I can't remember if we did that or not, but that was kind of the beginning talks. Then we were thinking about putting it in place because the standard is really Lowell's Pink Arrow game.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, that was one of the first. It's one of the biggest. It's phenomenal what they do there. We got to be a part of that last year. So that was kind of the whole idea. Like, instead of doing Pink Arrow, because a lot of teams do that stuff, let's do like a yellow ribbon game or something to support the troops and all that stuff. And then in the early years here, we talked about it with Ryan Portiga, the former athletic director, and kind of the thing was, well, we got to be able to put a good, first and foremost, let's get a good football team going. Let's get a good tradition going with the product we put on the field. Turned that around in about 3 years, and then we started doing this. So it's been never expected to take off like this. I have no part in how big it's become now. I think I was on the planning committee for maybe a year or two, but man, they do such a phenomenal job. I love the inclusion of, especially with it always being near 9/11, the inclusion of the first responders, firefighters, and police. Yeah. The police.
And new there this year, the traveling Vietnam Memorial. And we'll try later in the broadcast to try to get some of that. But if you're not here, they have the actual traveling memorial wall. On the wall itself are all of the Vietnam
people who lost their lives
from Michigan. From Michigan. This is the Michigan traveling.
I didn't even know
one,
that.
Yeah. So everybody that's on that wall is all Michigan residents that lost their lives in the Vietnam War.
Yeah.
And they actually, it's so cool because you can find a name up there, and a lot of these, there's a book. They have an entire page of history on that individual person.
Seriously.
Oh, that's awesome.
So you can go in and check it. If you haven't gone over and check it, that is absolutely worth checking out. So that's just one new addition here. Obviously, I mean, did you guys have Blackhawks back when it first started flying in and that kind of stuff?
No, we
had like a little, I think it was like a spy helicopter or something like that we had maybe in year 3.
A couple other little things, but it wasn't the extravaganza that it's turned into now.
No, and finding it's hard to get a big, it's hard to get a helicopter any sort of aircraft here anyway, but there was wasn't a little bird, but it was a little like surveillance helicopter we had, maybe a 2-seater. And then I think it was 2018 we had a Black Hawk.
Yeah.
And now with the new turf, the area that it normally landed is
a drain
unavailable.
field. Yeah, that's a drain field now. Yep.
And a couple years ago we had a stealth bomber fly over.
Yeah, that was pretty cool.
Yeah, from north to south, the stealth came out. That was, just to get that in, and we're going to get a hold of another. But I'm just so blessed how humble you are right now, though. This is a good side of you that I haven't seen.
Yeah, you don't get to see that much of me.
No, being a head coach
there's cameras on me.
Yeah, right. Exactly. Boy, when the cameras roll. Boy, you're just a different cat. I like this guy. Maybe we should have cameras.
Oh, don't get used to it, buddy.
No, okay.
So what? Honestly, going from year 1 to year 9, you've seen this thing grow. What truly does this mean to you, and what do you think it means to the community from your perspective?
I get asked that a lot, and it's really the same thing. Every time, it's just how. So when I came home, my wife and I got married before I left.
Oh,
I came home, and she bought a house and moved in while I was gone. So I came home to a new area. It was the first house that we lived in together as a married couple. And my neighbor, I didn't know until I met him that night I came home, as a Vietnam veteran.
Nice.
Wow.
And he's since passed, but I would talk to him for the years that we lived there, and he would always talk about how the Vietnam veterans were treated when they would come home from Vietnam.
Sure. Yeah.
And it's kind of a dark spot in American history, I think, where the population, the communities didn't really treat them very well. So it's wonderful hearing it's horrible hearing all those stories, but it's wonderful hearing how we went from that 50 years ago to something like this. And we've learned, that's part of the American way, right? We make mistakes, we learn from it, and we make up for it best we can. So the fact that the traveling Vietnam Wall's here, and all sorts of different branches and all that stuff, and the community just likes coming out and celebrating the military, which it means a lot to me.
It never
personally.
would have happened back in the 60s and 70s.
No, it wouldn't.
And talking about the Vietnam War, back then when I was in school, before you were a twinkle in your mother's eye, and you've turned out so well, God bless kid, I had to register for the Vietnam War.
Yeah.
And back then, if you went to college, your number wouldn't be drawn. You're put in a separate, but I still had to register, go through the whole process. And you're right, I grew up during the Vietnam War. And when they came home, it was
brutal.
You thought our guys were the enemies sometimes. It was that bad. And it's truly unfortunate.
Something special this game, though, and I wanted to point it out on the helmet. Maybe you can actually talk a little bit about that, because was that Matt's idea, is to kind of point
100%.
that out?
As far as I know, it's 100% Matt's idea.
So let's talk a little bit about that. And Kimmin, if you can zoom in on
let's get this over here a minute.
The helmet itself.
Okay, so I'm going to show the front part of it right now, and then there's a stripe that is going back, and then as I turn it around, Kimmin, if you can get it, we've got Ryan's initials here, here, the young man that
Ryan Leaney.
That unfortunately passed away at such a young age. We have Tiff Tuff, one of our coaches.
Tiffany Graham,
is on the road to recovery from cancer, according to Coach Grimm. And then the insignia of, I thought we said it was the Air Force.
That's the Medal of Honor. I don't know. I know it's not the naval one, because I know what that looks like, but it may be the Air Force.
It wasn't the Army. I think it was the Air Force.
That may be the Air Force,
because we looked it up. And then on the side, let's go with how Matt ever found this, is a gentleman by the name of Alexander Michael.
McHale.
McHale,
Yep.
forgive me. McHale. He's a
Medal of Honor.
Medal of Honor from the Civil War.
Yeah.
From Muskegon. Is that correct?
He wasn't born in Muskegon, so I think what Matt was trying to do is he was just looking up Medal of Honor winners from Michigan, and there's a website you can look them all up.
Okay.
And these two were accredited in Muskegon, so I think at the time they received it, they were living in Muskegon.
Sure, so there's a tie.
They were awarded it here in Muskegon County, or
Oh,
here
we'll
in the
take
city of
that. We'll
Muskegon.
take that anytime.
absolutely.
Heck
Oh yeah, 100%.
Yeah, and then on the other side is Dwayne Edger Dewey. Mm-hmm. Okay, tell us the history of this gentleman. Do you know this guy?
I know he was from, I can't remember where he was born, but I think he wound up passing. He was born in like the Grand Rapids area, I think in Ada.
Okay.
And then served in the Korean War.
Correct.
And then I think he lived in Muskegon afterward and then moved, I want to say like Florida or Louisiana or somewhere down south, where he lived until he passed.
Okay.
So Matt was the architect of this idea with
Yeah.
these Medal of Honor and honoring them. How in the world did he come up with that? Is it just an idea that he stumbled across?
I think so. One of the things that we have, this is kind of an interesting story. So, even though I was in the military, but my dad's father was in World War II, and he was in Omaha Beach in Normandy, D-Day. He was in the Battle of the Bulge, and a handful of things. And we've never really known. And unfortunately, my dad passed away last year, but we would always try to find as much as we could about my grandfather. He never really talked about a lot of stuff, but there was a fire in the records room in like the 80s, so all the history has been lost. So we had to get creative with all that stuff, and that kind of sprouted our love for history, both of my entire family, our love for the military. I've never met my grandfather. He passed away 2 years before I was born. I think Matt and my older brother remember him a little bit, but. It's just something that we've always kind of just done research like this, and it's always asked a question like, hey, and look into it. And funny kind of story. So on my dad's kind of final days, my aunt, his sister, shows up to kind of see him for the last time, and she had my grandfather's canteen. We never knew this existed.
Wow.
She had it in her basement all these years, and to her it was just like, it's just a relic. She didn't really appreciate
Understand the history
which is
of
fine.
it.
She's not a history lover like that. So we realized this existed, and my grandfather engraved, like with a knife or something, every place that he was throughout World War II.
Wow.
All the way from training in England.
Do you guys still have that, I hope?
She gave it to me. My dad passed away last August.
Right.
She gave it to me this June.
You have to bring it next year.
Yeah,
Please bring
it's sitting.
it next year. That would be.
That is
That would be
something
so cool.
So
That is
it's crazy.
absolutely
So I'm
cool.
trying to come. Once things settle down, football season's over. I'm going to come across to try to do a timeline. And make like a little report on everything that's happened, so we can better understand it. But that I can see how leading into all that research, Matt can easily stumble into this idea and run with it. That's kind of what he does when he's like a dog with a bone sometimes.
Yeah, that's
He
awesome.
just
crazy.
goes,
One more thing.
Yeah.
The hat.
The
I know
hat.
that you guys have special hats made almost every single year.
Yeah, every year. I think I think it was one of our assistant coaches on the freshman level, Rick McAdams.
Yeah,
he knows
Rick
the gentleman that designs all this stuff, and they're very.
Let's take a look at the hat.
Yeah,
that
I'm not
he's
taking
wearing,
it off.
Kevin.
My hair's awful,
Yep.
and that's part of pride with me. So you can zoom in on it all you want here on
Wow,
my
that's
head.
a pride factor with you.
But this hat, if you could look towards the camera
Yeah.
there, Mike, this hat is especially made for Sailor Salute. And
Yep.
there's only a few of them made. You guys really amongst the coaching staff for
Yeah.
the most part. Just a few that really get made every single year. And
Yeah, and I think that's special too. Part of the whole military thing is kind of just having that little camaraderie.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
We
It's
have
just
challenge
yours.
coins
Yep.
and all that stuff. And like, I was a Marine. I can wear
Yeah.
the Eagle Globe and Anchor. You cannot, and that's
That's
fine. So I think it's just our little way of kind of embracing the coaching staff and
Yeah.
saying, my wife always gets mad at me because we don't make one for her. So it's just stuff like that. So
I don't have one, and I'm on your staff.
Yeah, you're gonna have to talk to somebody else on that one. But. No, you should have one. I counted them out. You have one. It's just not with you, but it's in the back room. You have
look
it.
at that.
Oh,
Look at
Yeah,
that.
because he
Look
came
at
up with a stack. He said, "How many people you got?" And I named all of them. You were
Okay.
You were probably
You-
the first one I named because
Because
you're
I'm the oldest one.
Yes.
Yeah, right.
We went
Yeah,
by age. I was somewhere down the bottom.
Yeah, okay. You hear that, Joe?
Yeah,
Mine,
yeah.
I'm up there. I'm like wine, baby.
Well, that's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
Well, that's a wonderful
Yeah,
story.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That
So,
is true.
so tell us about tonight's now game. Holland, what can you expect? Let's change the scenario. Holland, and every year we bring in different teams. Now, Zeeland West was last year, and they were the very first year that we did that 9 years ago.
Was it Zeeland West?
Yes,
I know Fruitport was there early, too,
Yep,
and they kind of embraced it, too.
Yep, I had a nice talk with John last year, and when Matt said, hey, we want to be John Shildo, said absolutely, and absolutely loved. So
yeah, he's a wonderful human being.
Yes,
too.
he is. So tell us about Holland.
They got a new coach this year.
Yep.
They've kind of, I think they're still doing a little bit of spread kind of run stuff. Unfortunately, they've just released the news that they're going
Their numbers are down.
Yeah, their numbers were down, and they've been down all year, and they've been trying to recruit within their school. The difficult thing is when you go into a program and you have to change the culture. It's one thing to just keep a good thing going or even build on some building blocks, but when you have to come in and completely change the culture, it's very, very difficult. And this is his first year. I believe he was like Coach of the Year in Iowa in his division when he in the high school level. So he's got the credentials. And he's just kind of come in. Numbers are low, which they usually are in first couple years, no matter how.
Well, they were from when Matt was here. I remember when I've been here
and
with
the
Matt
numbers are still low. I mean, two-time state champion.
They're historically low everywhere.
Right, it's just the nature
you
of
look
the
at
sport.
Grand Haven High School, 2,000 plus. They can't get a JV team.
Right. So I said
look
there's
at
about
us at our
166 boys at Mona Shores in 10th grade for our, and we have 31
on our football team. Look at our frustration.
And that is what it is. So numbers are low. They've made the decision that they're going to be canceling their program in a couple weeks. Thank God they wanted to at least still do this. I mean, this is an experience regardless, right?
Right.
Oh, yeah.
But their numbers are low. It's a struggling program. I don't expect it to be much of a exciting game as far as keeping the score close.
Well, unfortunately, they've asked for a running clock from the opening kickoff. So,
which and that's why that stuff exists. But it still should be a fun one to watch if you're a Sailors fan. And the Holland fans come out and support their team anyway.
Anytime you get a chance to watch football, I mean, should we expect that we're going to see some of the backups, second, third string?
That's a touchy subject with me. Yes, I would imagine. I know the freshmen had a big win last night, so they were able to pull a lot of their starters, the guys that were dressing for this game. We knew it before the game. They were pulled early, so they have plenty of playing time. Sure. Unfortunately, the JV was in a little bit of a dogfight. Couldn't make it that decisive victory as early as we wanted to. We did win easily, handily, 28-8, but our players that are getting pulled up played the whole game, so you're allowed 5 quarters of play. So those guys will only have one more quarter left. The JV guys should have 2 or 3 at least.
Sure.
So. And I think Matt's a little upset because his brother had to play all the kids, but I think it was a planned thing, because he doesn't want to get our kids hurt. In this game right here. So, he spins it that way. I see it in a different way.
Can't give away my secrets,
Yes,
man.
I know, but that's okay. But we're going to do that. What's your schedule the rest of the day now with this all going on?
Oh, it is probably got maybe a half hour to kill a little bit. Okay. And then we got to get the JV ready. They're going to help with the pregame, holding the flags and everything like that. I'll do the walkthrough with the varsity right here to understand, kind of get a bit better grasp on their plans.
Sure.
And then we'll start getting to work. I expect us to be out in the field in about 45 minutes, so I might only have 15 minutes.
We're going to let Mike go. Michael, as always, thank you very much.
I appreciate you guys having me. This is awesome.
We love having you. I enjoy coaching with you. We have a big game coming up, Rockford here next Thursday. If anybody wants to come, a good JV program against another good JV team, it'll be Rockford here. Second time in 3 weeks. Wow.
Second time. Yeah, we played them last week.
Yeah, we played last week. This week.
And I think that might have been part of our struggle this week with Allendale's. We might have been looking ahead, but not every day you get to take a loss and get that team again. Yeah. Such short notice, so I'm expecting a good one.
Have a great day, buddy.
Thank you. You too. Thanks.
So Mike Koziak joining us, head JV coach and former veteran.
Yes. And one of the founders and architects of the original Sailors.
Architect that he is.
We're going to take a quick break and have another interview, a special one coming up in just a few minutes. Stay tuned.
What makes a champion? Honesty, hard working, values teamwork and their community, and desires to be the best. That's why champions choose Benton Baker. Search Benton Baker for a location near you.
Looking to buy or sell? Look no further than our broadcast booth sponsor, John Vandervelde at Nexus Realty. Give him a call at 231-759-3634 or go see him at 880 West Broadway Avenue in Muskegon. Nexus Realty, team-based real estate professionals.
everyone back to Sailor Nation Sports. We are here on the entrance of Sailor Stadium. Joe Kanukin, Nick Davros, the best in the business. Kim and Kotis is behind the camera. And Joe, bring in our special
Well,
guest.
I'll tell you what, nothing like this goes off without planning, and usually planning has to have somebody that takes over and runs it from the top and make sure that everything gets done. And that person for many, many years now has been Mr. Tim Lipan.
How you guys doing?
Tim, thanks for joining us
Tim,
here.
we're great. How are you doing, my friend?
I'm doing good. This is a well-oiled machine nowadays.
It is.
I remember back in the day, we didn't quite know what we were doing, but a lot of moving parts, and we made it happen, and now it's a well-oiled machine.
It is. It certainly is.
Well, fill us in on the history of this first, Tim. You've been here since ever.
Well, the athletic director at Mona Shores about 2016 came up with this event with Mike Kozak in their mind, but they didn't really know, at least that's what they said, how they were going to pull it off, and they knew that I did a lot of events, and so he reached out to me and said, will you help us coordinate this?
Yeah.
I had to say yes, and the rest is history.
And you and I, we work on the same planning committee, I guess is what you would say. We start having meetings, the school year ends, May, June. We're already having meetings in July, right? Is it July when we have our first one?
We have a critique meeting where we review what happened the year before, and everybody makes suggestions, and we have a great crew on our committee, and then we get serious, actually, February, March, where we meet monthly right up until showtime, if you will. So,
yeah.
How many on the committee? Roughly?
Well, I'll tell you what, on my list.
On the list.
Yeah, we have invited every veterans group we can find. All of the local police and fire from around the county are invited, school administrators and a few others. And typically at a given meeting we got a dozen or 15 people, depending on what they need to do and what we need to talk about.
Right, okay.
And we begin the planning process. Who's coming? What are you bringing? What can we do different? What's more exciting that we can add to it? And this year we were able to get a Black Hawk, which we just landed on the baseball field.
Saw that fly in and go over and land. That was pretty cool.
Yeah, and we were able to live stream that just as a stream as it was coming in. So we were able to put that out there.
Okay, I got a question for both of you.
Yeah.
So you want a Black Hawk. Who do you contact to get a Black Hawk? I mean, do you Air Force? Army?
Oh, I just
Navy?
gave Biden a call. No problem.
You give Joe a call, do you? Joe, Tim here. Tim, how you doing? Good talking to you, buddy.
Joe,
what
we
can I
need a
help
Black
you with?
Hawk.
Tim,
That's
what do you
Army
need to
National
buy?
Guard.
Yep.
Michigan Army National Guard.
Okay.
And so we'll contact them. But there's a lot of paperwork. There's
I'm
a lot
sure.
of red tape.
Yeah, they're not just going to say, when do you need it? Okay, we'll have it there.
Right, and so we have to start early as well and get all the appropriate permissions all the way up the ranks of the Army. This year we had an Osprey that was coming in.
Well, that's what I kept telling people. I heard that. I don't see it, Tim.
Well, that was a Marine Osprey, and about 10 days ago we got a little message from the Marines saying, pretty much can't tell you what's going on, but you can't have the Osprey, it's needed. And that was it. And
kind of like a need-to-know basis.
Yeah,
and we did not need to know.
And
we didn't need to know why.
Yeah.
We just needed to know that it wasn't
coming.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
So how have you, from your perspective, seen this thing change and grow? Like, what's the biggest changes from year 1 to year 9 that you have seen?
Well, maybe a little history. When we started this, if you'll remember, there were lots of things going on in the country, and cops were the bad guys. I think first responders weren't as respected as our heroes, community heroes. And I'm not even sure how the military was perceived. And so we thought, let's showcase them and let people decide for themselves.
Yeah.
And so we developed this based around this mission, and I would like to read it to you.
Yes, that would be great.
Absolutely.
We're
please.
trying to do 3 things when we first created this, and that's to honor those who served in the Army, in the military, and first responders, and all the community heroes. Second was to educate not only our students, because some of them, and this is the first time they're even hearing about Vietnam War, and today they can see the moving wall from Vietnam era.
Yep.
And we're trying to educate the community on the value of all of these resources. And then finally, just connecting people. We have someone from every branch of service here this year, and they get to talk to the public. People get to ask what it's like to be in the service. They consider it as a job. I know lots of folks take time to talk to our police and our firefighters, and they talk about, can I get a career there? So, great way to connect the community to these folks. And then one of the most emotional things is when we seriously honor everyone who's come with the handshake of the team as they come off the field. And I'll tell you what, if you look close, you can see grown men cry.
Yeah. Yeah, it really is something, and we'll be showing that a little bit later when we move our broadcast, from here in our pregame show up to the press box. You're right. It's a line of first responders and veterans and active military, and both teams, they go down that line, every single one of them, and they thank them for their service. And honestly, it's not something that's done every day, especially for the ones that used to be in the military and really don't see those accolades as much as maybe as active duty military and first responders. And it really does mean a lot to those veterans when they're down there and that happens. It is really cool.
Yeah,
it
is
is
very,
very cool.
very cool.
So, Tim, you've been here since day one of
Yes.
this process.
Yep.
Wow. Are you having a good time doing it?
Well, yeah. I mean, it's kind of I got a little experience putting on events and festivals. And
Yeah,
so
you have.
This works.
Just
There
a
is a
couple.
lot of moving parts, though.
Oh, there
When,
is.
you
There is.
got pretty much every police office in the county, and we even have police officers from Holland coming. And then we have every branch of military here as well. And there is all kinds of events going on and activities as the day progresses.
Sure.
Everything from the meet and greet that we just talked about to the cheerleaders doing 22 push-ups to call attention to veteran suicide.
Right.
Correct.
I remember
So
that from
a lot
last
of
year,
moving
but
parts,
Yeah.
but we got a beautiful day today.
Oh, my God.
We have a
Beautiful
great
weather.
team. They all know what they're doing. And, it's not just for Mona Shores fans. It's for the entire community.
It is.
You all come on out and meet and greet all our folks and have a great time.
Yep. Tim, when you're done with us, what does the rest of your day look like then?
My
here?
day?
Yeah. Are you going to the different venues? Are you watching some of the game? What do you do during the course of the game?
Well, again, I'm coordinating the moving parts. And so, for instance, we'll do the meet and greet, which is very cool, getting everybody lined up to do that.
Okay, you'll be doing that.
Yeah, but then halftime comes, and we got a band to consider, and we got people holding flags, and you got to find the people, find the flags, and then lots of other things going on.
There's
22
no
push-ups.
downtime for you then
No,
at
not
all.
until after the third quarter, and then you can watch the game.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yes,
yeah.
then you can enjoy what is left of that game. And it's going to be a fast game, honestly, this game. There is a running clock. We talked about, the status of Holland's football team and
Right.
the unfortunate, lack of numbers and that kind of stuff. But we have a lot that's going to be going on between now and that time. It's already started. Right now, the hospitality tent opened up. They made the announcements. And all of the veterans that are here today, all of the active military, all the police, fire, EMS, first responders, they're fed. And that's one of the other big tributes that they do is they feed all of those guests of honor.
They feed them?
They feed them all. And there's just so many restaurants in the area
That's
that
wonderful.
have really stepped up to provide food to make sure
right.
that nobody goes home hungry tonight. If you do, it's your own fault. So,
Greek food?
well, let's not get
I
crazy.
don't think so.
Yeah, let's not
Darn
get
it.
crazy.
Next
Yeah.
year.
You know what? I'm going to find the event organizer, and I'm going to have a little chat with him. I'll tell you that much. Right? Yeah, I'll find out when those meetings are.
Tim
You betcha.
Lipan, thanks for taking
Thank
a few
you, buddy.
minutes out of this. We know you're a busy guy. I just wanted to make sure that everybody knew exactly what was behind making this all go off, and it's not without great people like you at the helm, making sure that everybody's taking care of all the other things. So, Tim, thanks for a little
Thank
bit
you
of
as
time
always,
out
my
of
dear
this.
friend.
Appreciate
my
your
friend.
help.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
bet.
So in just a few minutes, we'll be right back with yet another interview. We're going to cover lots of stuff before we get up to our game time coverage. Thanks, and we'll be right back.
From truck beds to bed beds, we've got your home and auto covered. Combine your home and auto with Lake Michigan Insurance Agency, and you could save $650. That's like 325 gallons of gas, or 21 sets of comfy sheets. So, Trust our experts to find the perfect amount of coverage for you, making sure you're covered when you need it and how you need it. We shop a variety of insurance providers, industry leaders like Citizens and Frankenmuth Insurance, to make sure you get the highest quality coverage at the lowest possible rate. In Muskegon County, trust Ryan Rozicki to start a quote for you today. Visit Ryan at our Norton Avenue office in the Park Place Shopping Center near Goodwill and Pites and Courts Restaurant, or visit lmcu.org/insurance to get started.
Welcome back, everybody. Sailor Nation Sports live on the air here in the entrance of Sailor Stadium on an absolutely picture-perfect day for the 9th annual Sailor Salute, my friend.
It is picture perfect. It's a little bit warm in the sun, but I'll tell you what, it's better than rain.
I'm
it's
getting
better
the glow
than,
on, though, Joe.
You love this sun.
Oh, I love the sun.
This is.
I love the sun.
If you weren't here, you'd probably be
I'd
down
be at the beach. I'd be at the
that's
beach
exactly
getting some
where you would
natural
be.
vitamin D therapy session going on right now.
So in true fashion to what the Sailor Salute stands for and really recognizes, we've got another interview here going on, and one of the more forgotten, maybe, first responders not recognized as nearly enough. We have Leah Hargett from Trinity Health Ambulance. Trinity Health EMS. Thank you, Leah, for joining us.
You're welcome.
So you're a paramedic. You've been a paramedic now almost 10 years, correct?
Yep. 8 years as of August 28th. I've been with ProMed.
Okay. And you're a graduate of this alma mater, right?
I am, 2008.
2008. So
God, she's a baby, Joe.
So am I.
Compared to me. Yeah.
So, Nick, I was talking with Leah earlier. This is her first opportunity to actually get out here to this
really?
as well.
Oh, how wonderful.
She's always been working when it is going on, so she's never been able to get out here and actually cover
What are your thoughts, dear?
I mean, I wasn't expecting the Black Hawk helicopter to come landing. I truly thought it was just going to be us, PD, and fire, because that's typically what these kind of things
Well, the
are.
traditional first response. Yeah,
so when
right.
the Black Hawk helicopter landed and they got the military boat and all that stuff, I was kind of surprised when we pulled in.
Yeah. It is a fantastic event, and again, 9 years of doing this now is what they've been doing. So I'm glad you're finally able to get an opportunity to work this and see what it's all about. So have you had a chance to go around any of the stuff yet? Check it out? What's your thoughts?
I'm excited to go get food. But
yes, it's open. After your interview, you probably
Why is that not surprising? I'm here, but we have chefs from all over Muskegon. I just want food.
Yeah, well, who doesn't?
Why not? Good for you,
Who doesn't? Leah, tell us a little bit about being a paramedic.
Well, like I said, I've been a paramedic. I've actually been a paramedic for 7 years. I was an EMT basic for a year before that. The past few years, it's gotten pretty crazy, as you guys probably know. I love it. I'm actually currently in school for nursing, but I plan on maintaining my paramedic so I can continue to work on the road.
What made you want to get into paramedic?
I knew I wanted to get into medical.
Okay.
My mom worked for Mercy for 40 years, and she told me that being out of the hospital would be the best thing for me, and I found my little niche being a paramedic. I absolutely love it.
Good for
you.
I
love teaching. I love having students on my truck. I teach the MFR class, the EMT class, and the paramedic class. It's truly a passion of mine, so I love when other people want to get into it too.
And talk about truly being a first responder right here, literally speaking.
Well, as I mentioned when we first started this interview, EMS, in my world, I love EMS, and I give all the accolades that I can to responding paramedics. But paramedics are sometimes the forgotten first responders, honestly. And it is a shame. It's not nearly as much as what it used to be. You're starting to see a lot more recognition. And I think that's very fair because, quite honestly, what people don't realize is how understaffed the EMS field in general is, which means that every time you call 911, whether it's for something that's non-emergency or emergency, you're getting a paramedic crew that is working incredibly hard, not only to take care of that call, but they're working incredibly hard throughout the day. How tough is that, Leah, to really to do that? Because I worked for ProMed for years. I was a paramedic. I was a dispatcher. I know exactly what you're going through. Tell us from your own words what that's like.
It's definitely changed since I first started working here. Our call volume has dramatically increased, so it's been pretty taxing on us, but I still come to work even on my days off to help out because we need it. On any given day, we typically only have 6 paramedics on days and 6 on nights. You'll always.
How many do you need then? I mean, what would be a good number to have?
Oh my goodness, a lot more.
A dozen?
Probably at least half again as more every day.
Really?
Yes.
Honestly,
at least.
we truly couldn't do without, like, fire typically is the first person on scene.
Right.
We wouldn't be able to do without them because they're much faster than we are because there are so many more of them.
Sure, right.
Like, if...
Do you guys just have one location in the area where you work out of?
We do like a system status thing, so we go where the greatest need is for...
Okay.
Like, if we have one truck available for our entire coverage area, we're typically sitting over on... Apple and 31.
Okay, yep.
Center of the county.
We spread out all over. We go all the way out down to Eggleston. We go and even further beyond that. But they spread us out where they think that the call volume is most likely going to happen. Typically in the city, the Heights, Norton Shores areas are most busy areas.
Sure.
But it just depends on the given day as to where we're getting calls.
Now, to give you an example of how busy that is, one truck has 2 personnel on it.
Okay.
And it is not uncommon for them in a 12-hour period to run 12-plus calls.
Which might not sound like that much, like, okay, 12 people you deal with, but if you average about an hour per call per patient with driving out there, taking care of the patient, driving to the hospital. The other day I ran 14 calls, so we turn and burn. That's what we do. We've got calls waiting, and we've got to...
Really?
Yeah.
And my patients will never know that I'm busy. They will never know that I'm stressed out or anything like that.
I really do have to say, and this is one of the reasons why I wanted to have you on to do an interview from the EMS perspective. Our EMS crews work their butts off to really provide the care that this county needs. And
okay.
They do. They really work their butts off.
Because you're so short-staffed, and God bless you for what you guys do. So you have a couple calls that come in at the same time. Let's just say hypothetically.
It happens all the time.
Okay. And everybody else is busy. Let's just, another hypothetical. Everybody else is busy except for you and your partner. Same call, same time. How do you decide on an as-need based on or divide and conquer?
Say I just cleared the hospital, and there's a cardiac arrest in Muskegon Heights.
Okay.
And then there's a cardiac arrest in Norton 1's area, which is down by Ponaluna.
Okay.
They're going to send us to Muskegon Heights. They're going to see if North Ottawa can come to mutual aid.
Really? So you have to go to another county to get help?
We have mutual aid from White Lake Ambulance up north. We have mutual aid from Rockford Life and North Ottawa. So we call, and we do mutual aid for them too. If they need our help, we go out. If we have the availability, we all help each other. Just like if you're on a structure fire, they have the other crews come in to help out with that.
Okay.
It's all about helping each other, truly.
What kind of training do you go? Okay, so let's say hypothetically, I'm a college graduate and I want to be a paramedic because of the shortage. Talk me through what do I need to do to become a paramedic?
So I was first an EMT, which doesn't really require too much training. It's about 6 months. I do not have a degree. I have a certificate.
But a medical license through the state.
Yes, I'm licensed through the state. I'm actually still licensed through the nation. I still have my national registry. But so 6 months of EMT training and then about 2 years of paramedic training with our internships and all the clinicals that we have to do.
So 2.5 maybe
about 2.5 years total because you go through everything. You go through your EMT.
And that's just for a certificate.
It's just for. I can do just as much as a nurse, if not more.
What does a certificate get you? doing what you're doing right now?
Get you a paramedic job.
Gets you a paramedic license.
Yeah.
Like I said, I'm currently in school for nursing, and
Good
none
for
of that
you.
actually counts towards my nursing, even though I.
Shit, nothing. All that training.
Yep. I mean,
Well,
it's
God
going to be
bless you,
great when
honey.
I actually
Yeah.
like real
Yeah,
world
no,
experience.
no.
But
I get it.
Yep. No.
Well, Leah, thanks for taking a little
Yeah,
bit of time
thank
talking
you.
about it from the EMS side. It's every once in a while when we do these, we try to get EMS on there to remind everybody that you guys are just as important as police and fire,
Absolutely.
active military. We truly are the ones that are taking care of our communities at the grassroots level.
Yeah,
So thanks
yeah.
for
Thank
joining
you.
us.
Thank you guys
Thank
for
you,
that. I
dear.
appreciate it.
Go get something to eat. I know you're waiting
Yes,
to
go
do
get
that,
something
so.
to eat now, honey.
Ladies and gentlemen, thanks.
Enjoy. Pleasure to meet you.
We're going to
Pleasure to
take
meet
a
you.
quick break, and we're going to be right back with another interview coming up.
We got to find Tom Conran.
This is our house. We can find your house.
Blended Furniture Market thanks you, Mona Shore Sailors, for your support. Have a fantastic game. Try your best and make a difference. Come shop with us down the road at Blended Furniture Market. Visit us on Facebook and Instagram. Go Sailors!
Sailor Nation Sports back at you here live at Sailor Stadium on the concourse of Sailor Stadium for the 9th annual Sailor Salute. Joe Kanukin, Nick Davros, the best in the business, simply. I don't even know if he has a real name. He's just the best in the
Well, I
business.
mean, that's pretty synonymous, but Kim and the best in the business. That kind of
Kim
thing.
and
Yep,
the best in the
yep.
business, CODIS. And Joe, we got a really special
Yes.
guy, and this is going to be pretty cool.
And this is our first opportunity to really talk about this Operation Black Sheep. And many of you have probably seen this boat coming around. And I'm going to let Mr. Andy Hasper with Operation Black Sheep tell us a little bit about it. Andy, thanks for joining us on this broadcast for Sailor Salute.
Absolutely. Operation Black Sheep is a Vietnam War PBR. Patrol. It stands for Patrol Boat River. And this is PBR 7331, which means it was the 31st boat built in 1973. This boat did not actually see service over in Vietnam. It was with one of the other special boat units. The PBR project was the brainchild of Robert Boyer, and he is our president and CEO.
Okay.
He had the idea to kind of bridge the gap between Vietnam vets and today's veterans, because when Vietnam vets came home, they really didn't have a lot of the welcomes and stuff that we did when we came back from, the Persian Gulf and Afghanistan and whatnot. And he was looking for a way to help bring some of that back to the Vietnam vets and use it as a way for guys from our age brackets and everything to work through issues of PTSD and everything. And he's been working on this boat for 5 or 6 years now.
I was going to say, it's been a few years, yeah.
Right, and the boat that we have, 7331, was donated by John McClurg, who is a patrol boat captain from Vietnam, and he lives in Kentucky, and he believed in the mission that Robert had envisioned, and he actually donated this boat to us for that mission.
So the whole purpose of this project is to, one, bring awareness not only to the Vietnam War, but really any serving veteran that has been out there, but also bring those generations together as part of this project. Does that kind of summarize it up?
Correct.
Yeah.
We have veterans from today, from Vietnam, from Korea, from World War II have even been on the boat. This is the first year that we've actually been in the water the whole summer and have really run a lot of missions this summer. We've had quite a few actual PBR veterans from Vietnam that have actually come on it.
It's got to be an interesting flashback for them to get on there and bring back memories and that kind of stuff, huh?
It is. It's very, very emotional for a lot of reasons for a lot of them. We've had people that have brought their dads, their Vietnam veteran dads and stuff down and surprised them, and that was getting them out on the boat actually helped them open up and share the things that they just have kept it inside for so long.
Yeah.
So it helps bridge the gap, and we'd have people from our generation, our age, younger than us, and the older folks down and working on the boat while it was being restored.
Where do you keep the boat, Andy?
The boat is kept down at the Mart Dock.
Okay.
In the winter, that's where it's at, is in one of the Mart Dock buildings. And during the summer for operations, it's got a berth right in front of the LST.
Nice.
Does it? Okay.
So there's the gangway, the walk that goes into the front of the LST as you're walking in there. It is right there at the front of the LST during the summer. And for the most part, the only time we pull it out of the water is when we have a function like this, or Robert and Dan had it down at Coast Guard this year. This first year we had it down in Coast Guard. So
I've overheard you say operations multiple times when you take it out for an operation. Define an operation here.
We consider each time we take a veteran out as an operation fulfilling our mission.
Okay.
And our mission is to help bring closure to any of these veterans that have any kind of issues that they're trying to deal with.
And where do you go during this mission with them? Out into Muskegon Lake? Do you go out into Lake Michigan? Do you go up a river?
We can't get past the bridges to get upriver.
Okay.
So I gotcha. We kind of hang pretty exclusively on Muskegon Lake.
Okay.
We will go out through the channel and then into the break arms.
Sure. Yep.
Depending on how rough the lake is.
Right.
The big thing about this boat is, people are like, oh, it's a big boat, and it is. It's 38 feet.
That was good size.
And it does not do good in open water.
It was meant for rivers.
It's a river boat.
Right,
It is actually a jet boat. It is like a giant jet ski, and it has twin Detroit diesel engines in it.
Well, it goes pretty quick here.
Pushing jacuzzi turbojets.
Wow.
The big jacuzzi jets is what they are, and it's swing gates just like on a jet ski.
Yeah.
Andy, tell us a little bit about how, if somebody wanted to make a donation towards, the projects that are, refinishing this and that kind of stuff, how would they be able to do that?
Right, we are a 501(c)(3), and anybody that wants to look on it's operationblacksheep.org, or you can look us up on Facebook under Operation Black Sheep.
Okay, and there's ways.
Yeah, there's links on there.
Learn some history about it. You can see links on how to donate, and I'll tell you what, I'm friends with a lot of people that that they run missions like you are that help veterans that have come back. Eric Wenzloff, I don't know if you know who he is, and he does the Flying
fishing,
Heroes. Yep. That's another one that's a fantastic event. What you two do for veterans as a whole, I mean, the country is indebted to your service to helping them get back, because it's too much for sometimes the families to do on their own and everything else. They need that brotherhood that they served with and within and everything else. And to be able to donate, I'm sure that there are people that will watch this and want to do that.
Absolutely. And, you know, one of the biggest things that a lot of people just don't realize is, you know, they teach you what to do when you go to war. They don't teach you how to come home.
Right. And they're getting better.
They're getting a lot better.
Yes.
At that nowadays. They have mandatory buffer time. Like the first time I went over to the Persian Gulf was in '91, and we left Iraq in July. And everybody back here, it was, well, the war was over in February. We were there until July. And I was stationed in Italy at the time, and it was from Iraq back to Italy for 3 days, and then I was home.
Wow.
I was literally home 7 days after I left a war zone. And there's just no decompression from that. Mom asked me to go check the mail for her. I caught myself walking across her front lawn over on Hillview looking for landmines. You know,
Seriously?
I was driving down Porter Road, and my dad, and he was a Vietnam vet, forgot to tell me that A-10s were now doing touch and goes at the airport. Well, they were our close air support over there.
Right,
so I'm driving down
those
Porter Road, and an
days,
A-10 comes screaming by. I slammed on the brakes and pulled off the road because I thought there was a tank column ahead. You cannot shut your brain off from that.
Not just like that.
No.
It's not on a switch.
So they're doing a good job, a lot better job, I should say, now with giving some decompression time for guys coming home.
Yeah.
And what you guys are doing is really another bridge for those people that never got that.
Oh,
stuff.
yeah.
So we truly appreciate what you're doing, Andy. And honestly, thanks for coming and having a little bit of an interview with us, too.
Oh, I appreciate it. Anytime we can talk about the organization to get help.
Oh, absolutely, Andy.
And
absolutely.
really, it's a blessing and a pleasure to be able to do that, especially, you know, you being a good friend of mine, too. Andy.
Absolutely.
I appreciate that.
Absolutely.
Andy Hasper with Operation Black Sheep. I want to thank you very much. We're going to come back in just a few minutes with one final interview and wrap it up before we get ready for our game coverage. Stay tuned.
What makes a champion? Honesty, hard working, values teamwork and their community, and desires to be the best. That's why champions choose Benton Baker. Search Benton Baker for a location near you.
Looking to buy or sell? Look no further than our broadcast booth sponsor, John Vandervelde at Nexus Realty. Give him a call at 231-759-3634 or go see him at 880 West Broadway Avenue in Muskegon. Nexus Realty, team-based real estate professionals.
Southern Nation Sports back on the air for one final interview. And Joe, I tell you what, Joe, you have stepped it up big time, brother.
I do. I try to step it up each time we do this. But these guys I know pretty well.
Joe, who don't you know that's in the field of first responders?
There's levels of knowing somebody. These
Are
guys,
you sure, Chief?
I know pretty well. Listen, let me introduce Mr. Captain Mark Topping and firefighter driver Sam Ortega. Thank you. Recruit training officer Sam Ortega, Newly appointed recruit training officer Sam Ortega. Guys, thanks for joining us, Norton Shores Fire Department.
Thanks for having us.
A few of our finest here. But I want to preface this. Anything that they say about me, only believe about 3/4 of it. That's all I'm going to say. Really, whatever they say, they truly think I'm probably one of the best bosses ever.
I don't know what to say. They talk about, suck up to Joel right now, and then I'll give you other stories.
We've been doing that for a while.
Yes, you have. Yes, you have.
Even a little before.
So a little bit of history on these guys. Obviously, Sam, you came from California, but you moved into this area, and you got on this department about 5 years ago now. Is that right? 4 years?
A little over 3 years.
3 years.
Norton.
Yep, 3 years. And I don't know how many of these you've had an opportunity to see. Is this your first one, or is this?
Yeah, it was. I worked at the day side yesterday, helped get the flag on 443, but actually have not attended one yet.
So what do you think about this?
It's awesome.
Yeah.
Last year I only got to see kind of the preliminaries, very basic, just set up. So haven't actually got to sit or attend yet. So it's pretty cool.
Awesome. And Mark is an alum. What year did you graduate? Mark?
2000, actually.
2000.
Yeah.
So Mark was in the marching band. He was a percussionist. So getting out on the field and doing this kind of stuff is a really, he's familiar with that. But not to this level. This is different for you, isn't it?
Yeah, it is a little bit.
Yeah?
A little bit, yeah.
So what do you guys think overall? What do you think of all this? Did you get down to get some food?
So, obviously, the event's been going on for quite a few years. But
9 years now.
Yeah,
9 years,
so Chief and I were actually talking about it earlier this afternoon. This is actually the first opportunity that I've had.
Oh, good.
Even being on the department for past 21 years.
I'll give you my cell phone number. It'll be an annual event for you. Don't you worry. I got this.
Right.
Oh, yeah. I got this.
But, no, obviously, this is kind of just the beginnings of it. But just being here and seeing what's happened so far, it's we didn't have anything like this when I was in high school. So,
did you play sports here at Shores?
Not in high school. I didn't.
Okay.
I focused a lot on the
percussion
aspect of it.
Oh, good for you.
Yeah. I did play some sports back in elementary, middle school.
I got you. Okay.
Rec leagues
So
and things
Nick,
like
I got to tell you, you're going to love the stories, both of these guys, on how they got to be firefighters, okay? And I want them to tell these stories because they're very unique. You're going to enjoy them. So, Mark, let's start with you. How did you get into, I know the story, but why don't you tell everybody how you got into being a first responder in the firefighter business?
Actually, to be completely honest with you, it started with a little picture on Halloween when I was 3 years old, believe it or not. So,
really?
Dressing up as a fireman.
Sure, yeah.
That's kind of where it started.
Little plastic fire hat, the whole 9 yards, yeah.
Yeah. So, as I grew up, I've lived in North Shores basically my whole life up until about 6 years ago. My family moved out to North Muskegon, which is where we live currently. But, growing up, I used to chase the ambulances and fire trucks around the neighborhood and, just kind of developed that interest to be in the fire service. Got here into high school, and then my senior year, I was actually afforded the opportunity to do what they call the mentor program with the fire department, where I could take some time out of the school day to go to the fire departments and work with the guys and learn what the job is all about. And
Mark came and hung out with us a couple
just kind
hours
of solidified,
every day.
And obviously, Chief's been on the department. How long you been there, Chief?
30 years next month.
30 years.
Okay, this really bothers me right here.
Yeah.
What do you call him, Chief? Okay, Chief. Oh, my God.
You see the level of respect that I get?
I see that.
Now, from you, I want you to take lessons.
Okay.
I want you to take lessons.
I love when Joe's talking fire lingo up during
I'll be on a radio or something.
Yeah, he'll be.
I imagine you probably picked up quite a bit over the course of the last couple of years.
He'll say, I love the police lingo.
So Mark had the opportunity from that mentor program to come almost immediately right into being a part-time firefighter. He's worked his way up as a firefighter driver full-time, and then became a lieutenant for about 15 minutes.
Yeah.
And then moved it. Well, he was an RTO as well before that, and now he's a captain. So a very, very good addition to our officer group. And I know that people like Sam and everybody else really enjoy his mentorship. But Sam has one of these stories made for TV intros into.
Well, he's got a stash made for PC. I mean, I'm talking Tom Selleck here,
we're
right?
about a month and a half in. A month and a half into this mustache, so it's
a month and a half
in. Yeah, I know.
Okay, I got it. Before we get into this story, where in California are you from?
How familiar with California are you?
Been there.
What's that?
I have been there.
Okay.
Okay, if you say you're from San Diego, I'm going to shoot you.
Okay, I grew up like about an hour north of Los Angeles.
Okay.
That's where I grew up. And then went to school, college in Southern California, Huntington Beach, Newport Beach area.
Yeah, been there, done that,
Yeah.
Why are you in Michigan then?
It's a
What
really
am I
long
missing?
story. I don't think we have time for.
Okay,
but,
we'll go out for lunch sometime on Joe's tab.
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead.
So tell us
this wonderful
tell
story.
us your inspiration for firefighting.
Yeah, I have big history with the fire service. My dad was actually a captain for Los Angeles City Fire Department for a little over 20 years.
Wow.
He ended up getting a disease called Lou Gehrig's disease, or ALS, from a duty-related incident. He ended up passing from that after battling that disease. And then for a time, I wanted nothing to do with the fire service, nothing at all. Fair enough, ultimately.
No, I get that. Yeah, absolutely.
But I was always drawn to it. I was always around it. Grew up having holidays at the station, and LA, there's probably 10, 12 guys at a station. It's a different, it's one of the biggest cities in the country.
Yeah.
Eventually, again, long story, ended up in Michigan. My wife and I, we've been here about 10 years now, and about halfway through that stay, I was able to pursue it again. I got hired part-time at Ferrisburg Fire Department. They put me through fire school, medical school, all that stuff, and then was fortunate enough to actually get hired with Norton a few years ago full-time. And so I've been doing fire a little over 5 years total now.
Oh, good for you. Thank you.
Yeah, and then been here ever since. So
I still don't understand how you came to Michigan, though.
Yeah, we'll do lunch.
Okay. Wow. Yes, we will.
So these guys, I tell you, it's interesting from my perspective because I wanted to go in the military first. Then I wanted to be a police officer, and it was a friend of mine in high school at the time. He says, "Hey, did you see Norton Shores is hiring part-time firefighters?" I was like, "No, I didn't see it." "You want to go down and apply?" "All right, cool." I went down there. I've 30 years now. It is absolutely what I fell in love with, and everybody has a different story of what got them to where they are. And it's so cool because you take all these individual stories and you put them together as a group, and this really truly is a family. And this event, the Sailor Salute, really is to celebrate these families of the military and first responders and everything else. And
you guys are such a tight-knit group. All these little individual groups.
Yeah, really,
are so tight.
really is. And like Chief said, everybody's got their story, but at the end of the day, in our line of work, it's important to have that closeness and have the the close-knit
absolutely,
family. So
fellas.
It's pretty
that was one of the big draws for myself. When my dad was sick, I cannot tell you the number of guys that would show up at our house, the groups of guys that came to do work at our house. And to this day, I have never met any some families, but no organization that is as tight. I've never seen a group of people care for each other the way they cared for each other.
Wow,
and that was more. The job's great, but even seeing that family, I've to this day never seen anything.
And
like
that rings true in firehouses across the country. It's not just to that.
Well,
it's here.
you guys are making national news now, and not for the good reason, but some of the stuff that you're forced to breathe in now, I've been hearing.
The PFAS that we're absorbing and everything else.
And the stuff that you're breathing. I mean, guy, you're right up there in, God, thank God for what you do each and every day.
It seems like day after day we hear different ways that the fire service advances just to make sure that firefighters are protected from
absolutely
all that stuff. So, it's definitely a progressive occupation. It's when you're part of a family like the fire service is, you just got to kind of take care of each other, and that's it's kind of what it's all about.
I see you being a lifer. I see you being a lifer in the fire department. The passion that you talk about, well, that's just wonderful.
Most people get into this business. The only thing that gets them out is retirement. People kicking them out the door, pretty much. So,
right, for sure.
Well, gentlemen, thank you for taking a few moments.
Thank you, guys.
I'm glad you were able to get down and get something to eat. There's going to be a lineup with all of the first responders and military personnel for the actual players to greet and thank you for your services. And as a member of the department and a colleague of your guys, I tell you, I could not have a better staff. I really could not.
You guys are saints in my
Appreciate
eyes.
that,
That's
Chief.
all I got to say.
Appreciate it very much.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Thanks for what you guys do too. It's fun to see the Sports Network kind of progress.
Well, thank you. We appreciate
the amount of
that.
time that you guys
We're having fun.
Volunteer. So
Yep.
that's cool.
So that wraps up our pregame show. We are going to pack all this stuff up very, very quickly. We're going to turn things back on once we get up to the press box. There'll be a brief pause in our broadcast.
Well, we got about 47 minutes, brother, to get this packed up and hustle.
Just fine. We'll be just fine. You guys stay tuned. We'll be right back, and we're going to enjoy the beginning of this game at the 2022 Sailor Salute. Take it easy. We'll see you in just a few minutes.
Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome. Sailor Nation Sports is on the air, and glad to be with you no matter wherever you are, however you may be listening. We are, as always, honored to be with you this evening. Tonight, it's a very special evening here at Mona Shores and Sailor Stadium, the 9th annual Sailor Salute. We had our pregame show that kicked off at 5 o'clock.
That was a good pregame show,
It was
too.
a great pregame show. We had some wonderful first responders. Joe, I'll tell you what, your legend is huge in Mona Shores. Joe had everybody under the sun that knew him and kissing up to him like I have never seen or heard it before.
Nick, if I am legendary, it's only because of the people that I'm surrounded with.
And so humble as well. As always, the Godfather, Joe Kanukin, is on my left. My dear friend, Steve DeLong, Stevie Stats, a.k.a. the great-grandson of Howard Cosell, is with me on my right. Up at the top, Kimmin, simply known as the best in the business in the Crow's Nest. And we've got King Cohen-Holman somewhere. Where's the old boy?
Mr. Cohen-Holman is down right by. We're actually going to show you his shot.
There he is right
He's
there.
watching the military band.
Right now.
He's right there watching the military band come across.
They were kicking out some jams here today,
yeah, they
weren't
were.
they?
Yep.
And so, Joe, what do we got? Come on, before Steve and I get into the stats and all this good football stuff, fill us in on what's going to be happening right now.
Obviously, with the Sailor Salute, we do a lot of recognition and honor, and right now they're doing what I wanted to make sure we catch. All of those that want to come out, all of the first responders and military personnel, they line up along the end zone. And as you guys can see right now, all of the players from both teams go over, shake their hands, and tell them thank you for their service. And there's a lot of people, active military and first responders. We get a lot of that. But there are a lot of veterans down there that haven't had that kind of recognition in a long time. And this is a really emotional moment for all of these young kids to be out there thanking these guys for their service from years and years ago, some of them. And it really is one of the highlights of this Sailor Salute to be able to watch this and share this with you guys on this broadcast. Again, Holland is joining in on the line now.
We've had multiple different teams last year. We had Zeeland West, their second appearance in here, and the legendary coach John Chilton said, absolutely, we want to be part of it. This year, Holland is gracing us with their presence, and the players are thanking all the first responders right now. And Mike Koziak's, Matt's brother Mike was was our first guest today.
Yeah, and it was fantastic having him on. All of our guests were really, they represented something pretty special and pretty awesome from the different branches of first responders to organizers of the actual event itself to the Operation Black Sheep. And I know you got a chance to go over and take a look at that.
It's bigger than I thought. It was so cool.
Yeah, so we had a lot of great people come on and really fill our pregame show with some awesome stuff. Steve, I know during that time frame you end up going out and doing a little recon, doing a little research. Do you have anything to share for us about this upcoming contest between these two teams?
I do. I'll save it for a little bit, but I had an opportunity to go down and coaching staff came out kind of early today, so they actually on the tent on the sideline. So I sat down there with Coach Koziak and some of the coaches for a while and just talked a little bit about last week and what the psyche of the team is after that tough loss at Rockford.
Sure.
And and just kind of talking about this game as well. It'll be interesting, and we'll kind of talk about the dynamics of this game and Holland's future as a football program this year. And we talked a little bit about that. So yeah, I have some stuff to share coming up.
Great. Looking forward to it. And honestly, Nick and I like to talk a little bit more than what you do to other people. So we kind of let you go and do your thing. Getting all that information. It's always appreciated, Steve. And really, honestly, Nick, it's appreciative for you and I to be able to put a pregame show together like that. It's pretty awesome.
I think it's fun. And, Steve, what he does, and does absolutely a great job. So, between the three of us, we do okay, I think. I hope everybody likes it out there. And we are looking forward to this. The band's taking the field right now, so we're going to stop tanning just for a minute as the band takes the field right here. So you guys can enjoy the band. You can embrace the band. Okay? So we're going to be quiet just for a couple
let's
minutes.
let them do their thing.
Shelby Haynes and Bella Semmelbauer. Presenting the captain of the ship. This year's senior drum major, Alan Threadgill, with assistant drum majors Wesley Bell and Leo Webb. Your sailor bands for Anchors Away. Continues its pregame performance tonight by paying tribute to the tens of thousands of honored alumni of Mona Shores Public Schools. Originally written by the students in the inaugural music theory class of 1962 and their teacher, our school's first choral director, Larry Gray, this is the Mona Shores alma mater. We sing praise to thee. Now, ladies and gentlemen, we welcome to the field members of the 338th U.S. Army Band, Army Reserves, as the Sailor Marching Band is proud to share the field with these service members and thank them for their service and being here to help us celebrate tonight's Sailor Salute. And now, a Sailor Band tradition for 6 decades, arranged by our first director of bands, John Butterfield. Here's Joshua.
You have been listening to the Sailor Band, and tell you what, it's like $1 million band that Alabama has. It's the Sailor Band here at Mount Shores. Hope you enjoyed that rendition of Joshua. So, Steve, I think it's about time we get to some keys to the game here, don't you think,
Sure,
buddy?
let's go.
All right, let's see what we got for keys to the game, Steve.
Sure. So for Mona Shores, last week was a really tough loss. I'm sure we'll get into it a little bit with Rockford, but it was a heartbreaking loss in the turn of events, considering how much they dominated them really for 2.5, 3 quarters.
Oh, yeah.
But,
absolutely.
I think number one is just how quickly do they shake off last week's loss, right? I talked to Coach Koziak a little bit before the game, and he said, learn from it. We're going to learn from it. He thinks it's going to make them better down the road, and I don't have any questions about that. So I think also this week will be kind of a back to the basics kind of week. And so I think you're going to see a lot of our bread and butter plays, our spin trap and bubble screens. I think he'll keep it fairly simple. And then I think the other key is just get up early. For those of you at home that don't know yet, at 21-0, they're going to do a running clock, and we'll get into a little bit more about Holland's program. But they have 2 weeks left in their season, and then they're calling it a season. So for Holland, they're going to have to create some turnovers, get a few big plays early, and certainly take time off the clock.
Yeah, we're going to have the colors up there.
But Holland has their work cut out for them, no doubt about it.
Oh, there's no question, absolutely. The colors will be brought out now. The officials down on the sideline, the north end of Sailor Stadium. The colors are now coming down the track, heading from the north to the south. Great job, Kevin.
There's a lot of things that are going to be done today. The color presentation is just one of them, of this awesome Sailor salute.
Well, talking to Tim Livehan today, there's a lot of moving parts to this thing.
It sure is.
On November 4th, 1969, while serving as a door gunner with the 281st Helicopter Assault Company, Sergeant First Class James Robert Klemo from Northern Shores was a door gunner on a Huey gunship in the Republic of Vietnam. SFC Klemo, a Mona Shores graduate, and 3 other soldiers were on board the chopper flying a combat support mission from their base camp in Nha Trang when all communications with the helicopter was lost. Despite search efforts in the heavily enemy-infested area, Sergeant Klemo, the crew, and the helicopter were never recovered. Tonight, we continue to recognize, remember, and honor prisoners of war and those still missing in action. A very special table has been set up in our veterans tent in the north end zone. The POW MIA table, prepared in honor of those brave men and women who never made it home while fighting for freedom for this great nation. A simple round table sets in an isolated corner of the tent, covered in a white tablecloth representing the purity of their response to our country's call to arms. The empty chair depicts an unknown face representing no specific soldier, sailor, airman, or marine, but instead all who cannot be here. The table itself is round, showing our never-ending concern for them. The Bible represents faith in a higher power and the pledge to our country founded as one nation under God. The black napkin symbolizes the empty hearts of their families, friends, and comrades. A single red rose reminds us of their families and loved ones, and a red ribbon represents their love of country. The yellow candle and ribbon symbolize the everlasting hope for a joyous reunion someday to come. The lemon on the plate reminds us of the bitter fate, and salt is from the tears of their families. An upside-down wine glass reminds us that our comrades cannot join us in the toast or be with us here this evening. Now, in honor of those who made that ultimate sacrifice, please join me in a moment of silence. Taps was played by former Army Staff Sergeant Robert Reese of Norton Shores. Robert is a combat veteran of 16 years, serving 3 tours in Afghanistan, 1 in Kosovo, and 1 in Iraq. Thank you.
And ladies and gentlemen, if that doesn't tug at your heartstrings, I don't know what does. Wow.
Brought tears to my eyes.
Yeah.
Well, just the table and every little detail that was described in that table is amazing. What a wonderful tribute.
Yeah. Yeah, and this was, I think, they've done this tribute at least a couple of years now, and everything was dialed in perfect. I tell you, I got goosebumps.
God, you could hear a pin drop out there as well.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Sailor Nation Sports Network is honored to be able to cover and provide that kind of memorial and dedication to prisoners of war and that are missing in action still. That loved ones still hope for the return back to them in some way, shape, or form. Yes, but we hope that as well from Sailor Nation Sports Network. And this game is part of the Sailor Salute, which honors all POWs, MIAs, active military veterans, first responders, and we're getting ready to have a great football game here. Well, we're going to hope it's as good as possible. Obviously, you were talking a little bit, Steve, about once we get up 21 points, once we get to that point, what's the normal running clock for everybody?
The normal running clock's at 35. And so a little bit of background. Holland has a new coach this year, Will Siffin. It's his first year. He came here from Hoover High School in Iowa. He was there for 9 seasons. He actually played tight end at Wayne State. So this is his first year. And Holland has really low numbers. And they've been trying to get classmates and everyone else out to help field the team. And it just struggled. And so part of it is a safety issue. Part of it is, keeping the morale of the players up. So they're only going to play 2 more weeks. They're going to play us this week, and then they have Zeeland West next week, and then their season is going to be done. I think they're going to continue to practice. They're just not going to play any games.
They're going to have a JV schedule, but all the kids are going to come down except for the seniors will be playing JV, which they should.
And so if you the scores of the first 2 weeks, they lost to Holland Christian 58-0 and Comstock Park 63-8. So if you do the average on that, that's an average of 60-4. So I mean, they're going to struggle. They're going to struggle.
Yeah. You know, I can remember back in the day when I was playing at Muskegon, Holland was good. Holland was big. Holland had a good team back in the 70s. And over the time, you know, it's a tough sport to play. Great in soccer, incredible in swimming, national champions, state champions. But in baseball, great in baseball and softball. But yeah, football's a tough, you know, it's a different cat.
They've only had 5 winning records since 1990. And I think we talked about this a little last year, but in 2011 they actually went to the quarterfinals and lost to East Grand Rapids. So I mean,
that's where they had that really good running back that year in quarterback.
But it's you know, for the most part it's been a struggle. 1 winning decade since the 50s and 60s.
Wow.
1 winning decade.
Eesh.
So yeah,
that hurts.
Yep.
Okay, so running clock traditionally second half 35 points, but for this game it's 21 points. Yeah, we said
that's
21.
What Coach Koziak told me before the game. Yep.
Okay, with that said, so the past couple games we've only dressed 32. You know how many we're dressing for this game?
A lot.
57. And where did we get all these extra kids? We robbed the JV, we robbed the freshmen.
A lot of freshmen.
And a lot of freshmen are going to be coming up. In fact, in order to play, you know, that fifth quarter, you can't play 4 quarters in your game. Well, the freshmen blew out Holland 45-0. A lot of kids come up. We struggled down in Allendale. We had to play all of our starters into the 4th quarter. So our kids are only going to be able to get a quarter. So, which isn't a bad thing for me because I don't want to see any of my kids hurt in this game right here. But the freshmen are going to get a lot of reps in this game.
For sure.
And how exciting is it for them to be in a varsity game?
Absolutely. It'll be a really good experience for them, assuming everything goes to script as we, you know, plan on. You know, I watched film on Holland, and you know they do struggle. They struggle to protect the quarterback. They struggle to stop teams on offense. It's just they just struggle. So
the Sailors are coming out on the field for this Sailors Salute game, carrying the beautiful red, white, and blue. They will be in their Sailors Salute jerseys for tonight's ball game, the red, white, and the blue. A tradition that Coach Koziak started. And with the different decals on the helmets. We had, Joe, we had a helmet for our pregame show tonight, which was pretty cool.
Yeah, and the hooligans flying over. Kimmon's trying to catch them as they come by there. There you go. The hooligans with their Sailor Salute flyover. Great, great camera work, Kimmon.
Well, thus the best in the business.
Yes,
you know,
thus best in the business.
Thus.
So another new thing this year for our broadcast. Actually, why don't we hold off? They're getting ready to do the national anthem, I believe, here pretty quick. So while they do that national anthem, we are also going to be quiet so you can hear it and enjoy it as well on your own. But they're, man, I'll tell you what, it is one heck of a Sailor Salute. And really, it has been a tremendous.
Well, it's packed. It's
just a
literally standing room
goosebumps.
Only.
Yeah. You know, we have a terrific crowd. It's absolutely wonderful. As you guys can see, the hooligans with their flyover again coming from the northeast, head to the southwest over the top of the field.
God, if that doesn't give you goosebumps.
I know, this whole thing.
My God.
Goosebumps. You better believe it. You better believe it. But yes, we're going to be doing the Wasserman Floral Pigskin Pick'ems here in just a little bit. We'll review our last week and our current record and all that kind of stuff. And here is the national anthem. rendition by the band of the national anthem. Joining them, the Army band as well down there. Awesome. I tell you, another flyover. How can you beat this? How can you beat this?
Joe, I don't know if you can beat them. I don't know if you ever want to beat something as good as what we got here. It's only going to get better. And, I'm watching Tim Lipan pace back and forth. God, he's like a child with a new baby here, making sure all these little things go well for
Speaking of new things going well, Steve, let's cover the Pigskin Pick'em.
All right, the Pigskin Pick'em brought to you by Wasserman Flowers, Muskegon's oldest business, 142 years, and owned and operated by Mona Shore's alumnus Troy Wasserman and Angie Nealon. So we started this where we each, I actually choose 3 games of interest. I don't know if it's of interest to me or what I think might be interesting, and then we pick, and we're keeping a season tally. This year, Nick, oh my gosh, unbelievable. Nick is 6-0. Steve is 5-1, and Joe is 3-3. 3-3. So the first game up today is Zeeland West versus Zeeland East. All right, Joe?
I got to pick Zeeland West. They're definitely the tough team out of the two. They came off a big win last week, and I think that it's definitely going to be Zeeland West.
Nick?
I'm going West as well. You can't stop Shillitoe.
Yeah.
And East isn't going to be good for a while.
Zeeland West is the number 9 team in the state of Michigan, Division III. It's John Shillitoe, so we all have Zeeland West. All right. The next game, we got a big one in the city here. Reese Puffer versus Muskegon.
I got to go with Muskegon. Obviously, they came off of a tough loss against De La Salle. They beat East Kentwood, but barely. And those two teams, those two games really don't reflect how tough this team is. Reese Puffer rebuilding, Cody Cater trying to get something going, just not going to be able to overcome Muskegon.
Joe, I think you've been too nice to Muskegon. It wasn't a tough loss. They got the rear ends handed to them up and down the field by probably the team that's going to repeat as the D2 state champions in De La Salle. Not only did they beat the Big Reds, the Varsity, they beat all 3 levels handily. I'm going with Muskegon because I don't think they lose in the big house.
And I'll try to get through this quickly. So Reese Puffer is now ranked number 10 in the coaches poll in Division II. I definitely got Muskegon. And so just quickly at the end, East Kentwood and Grand Haven, guys.
I'm giving it to East Kentwood, and the only reason is they played Muskegon tough. I think that they just lost, or they're 1-1, so they lost. They won last week. But they showed that they have the ability to hang, and I think that they're going to look forward to another win against Grand Haven.
I'm going EK.
And I got Grand Haven.
All right, here we go.
Kick was out of bounds. Sailors get the ball first.
Looks like a 3-3 defense for Holland. Fullback going to carry the ball here.
Nope.
Now he's going to pitch it here. Break one tackle, break a couple more. Down inside the 40, down to about the 36-yard line. Pittman is going to be your quarterback. You got that offensive starting lineup at center. Senior, Sam Wahlberg, 5'11", 235. Your guards, Luke Emmons, 6'3", 300. Jesse Love, 5'10", 180. The tackles, Nate Allen, 6'5", 250. And Chase Thalman, 6'1", 180. He's the junior. So you got 1, 2 juniors and 3 seniors in that starting offense for tonight. We'll get the skills in just a minute. Trips to the right, split to the left. Pittman back. Oh, just over the outstretched arms.
We talked about that loss to Rockford last week. What stood out to me in that game was how tough our defense was against that Rockford offense. The first half of the game, Rockford had no answers for that defense. They were in the backfield in their face, stopping everything at the line. There was just nothing.
They didn't get a first down until 4 minutes left in the second quarter.
It was insane how good that defense was against Rockford.
A spin trap.
It's a little spin trap. That was Amari Hall Brown on that last incomplete pass.
So in the pregame, I talked about back to the basics. So far, we've seen an option pitch, we've seen a slant, and now we've seen the spin trap. We've seen everything that's the bread and butter of Mona Shores football. That's what you're going to see tonight.
Twins to the top, twins to the bottom. 1st and 10. Pittman with the pitch, going to go around
Beautiful
that outside.
seal. Oh.
15, 10, 5, touchdown, Mona Shores, number 8.
Boy, that wide receiver sealing off that defender coming across couldn't have been more textbook.
Corey Bothwell, the JV young man, getting his touchdown. You know, his daddy's going to be happy. Dad played for me at Muskegon. Had a nice chat with him last night. He was in Allendale to watch his son in action. Sailors on a nice drive, go up 6-0. PAT attempt, the swinging gate from left to right.
Yeah, and they left it pretty wide open.
They left,
but that was not a very
incomplete pass. That was Terpstra with the left-handed pass, just a little high.
So at home last week, we always run the swinging gate. That formation's a swinging gate. So my wife actually said, why? What's the purpose of that? And so I thought, you know what? Maybe there's more people that. So the swinging gate, number one, is one more thing that the opposing team has to prepare for. And so you saw that the linemen were lined up off to the side. So there's multiple options off of the swinging gate. Number one, they can throw it over there if the numbers are good. And in Mona Shore's favor, like they just did, unfortunately, it was an incomplete pass. They usually have a wide-out split to the other side that they can throw a pass to. They can snap it and run an option play. And then even though the center is lined up, he's actually the person on the end of the line of scrimmage because the whole offensive line is down to the other side. So he can actually snap it and go out for a pass as well. So you have multiple options off of that. And it's just one more thing. I mean, that takes practice time and practice to do it. And
Sure
so just a little brief history of, of that. So
the swinging gate proves to be ineffective right now. It's a 2-point play as the pass was incomplete. Sailor's going to be kicking off. It's a high, and boy, is that baby high and over end tick, taking it at 15. Across it to 20, down about the 22, maybe the 23. We'll mark it at the 23-yard line. First and 10 for the Dutch.
Taylor's calling for a fumble, but I don't think they're. Yeah. Oh, it is a fumble.
It is a fumble.
Wow, I didn't even see that.
I didn't even see, no.
So
I
quickly,
didn't see the Sailors jumping up and down saying they got it.
Quickly becomes a Sailor ball on offense again. We're not even going to get a chance to look at that defense.
Looked like Amari Hall-Brown got it.
Yep. Your skill position at one slot, number 2, Amari Richardson, 5'6", 140-pound junior. The quarterback, Jonathan Pittman, 6 feet, 1 inches tall, 205-pound sophomore. The other side, Kewan Farnham, number 15, 5'9", 175 senior. And the fullback, Demir Farnham. Pittman back to pass. Nice ball, nice touch, nice catch, nice touchdown.
Wow.
Number 2, Amari Richardson.
Nope, that's Vinton.
Looking on the Lake Michigan Insurance Incident Repay.
Was that number 2?
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Jalen Vinton, number 2.
So here's the swinging gate again. So if you see it, they didn't go all the way over, but you can see how the lineman shifted back. I doubt they'll run it again tonight, but
Sailors looking for their 13th point of the game. The snap, the kick, it's up, and it is good with 10:44 remaining here in the first quarter. Sailors are up 12-0. Hey, you can take a quick break, but make sure that you come right back. We're going to give you 30 seconds.
Like football, financial victories require a sound game plan and a commitment to your success.
For your success, put the Braver team on your sidelines.
Go Shores! Blended Furniture Market thanks you, Mona Shore Sailors, for your support. Have a fantastic game. Try your best and make a difference. Come shop with us down the road at Blended Furniture Market. Visit us on Facebook and Instagram. Go Sailors!
Want to welcome everyone back. Hope you had a good 30-second break. Sailors, if you've missed anything, the Sailors are up 13-0. 10:44 remaining here in this first quarter. Stevie Stats is going to go over that 21-point rule in just a minute in case you missed it in our pregame show. Taking it to 10:15. Oh, is he met by that internal part of that Kicking tee right at about, we're going to make it the 17-yard line.
Couple good kicks by Caden Pulaski to start the game, and then after the touchdown, got the fumble recovery. That was a good deep kick, which allowed the the coverage team to get down there.
Yeah, I tell you what, he's not the biggest kid in the world, but I tell you what, the foot is a joy to watch. The kid can get
such
it
a good
up in
soccer
the air.
player too.
Oh yeah,
I'm telling you,
absolutely.
The kid is very athletically talented.
Yeah. Oh yeah. So 1st and 10 for the Dutch. Ball is at the 17-yard line. We're at the 10:39 mark here in the first quarter.
Little quick story. We're doing interviews for Full-Time Firefighter, and I got to interview a punter for Baylor. He was there on a scholarship. Baylor University scholarship. He was a punter.
So it looks like the Dutch are going to take a timeout, and you can see what's going on here right now. Lack of numbers, number one. Lack of continuity. They're on their 3rd coach in 4 years, okay? And Steve brought it up, and we brought it up in our pregame show with Mike Kozak, changing the culture. How do you change a culture with one coach? He lasts 3 years, who was a repeat coach last year.
Yeah.
He says he saw the writing on the wall. I can't do anything.
Well, if you remember, I started to cut you off, but if you remember, they had the big quarterback, Zach Hopp, last year, and the really good receiver.
Absolutely, he was good.
So they had some people. They still couldn't stop people, but they could put up offense. But obviously, the well.
So the 3rd coach in 4 years, it's tough. You're building culture. If the culture, eventually the culture's got to stop somewhere, and somebody's got to be willing to take the price, and that's going to be tough. So the Dutch are going to get back to the initial line of scrimmage. I'm glad to hear that they're going to keep a JV program unless the 11th graders and 10th graders and 9th graders be one team, which will be, they have a freshman team.
Bummer for the seniors, but
Orchard View went through that.
Yeah, they did last year.
Last year, right, Joe? Yep. Exactly. Split backfield, spread formation.
And you can see, one of the keys is just milk the clock. Holland is going to be in no hurry tonight.
Oh my God. Number 5, Trent Rosenthal. I tell you what,
you
heard it up here. Trent had a hit like that. Boom. God, you can hear it on the replay.
That's called running through the running back.
Here it is again up close. Watch right here. Trent had a hit like that. Oh, he had a hit like that against Rockford right in the middle of the field. That was incredible. The kid can play. God, if we could have had him last year. There's a little tip. No.
Tipped at the line.
Tipped at the line by number 53 right there. Jesse Love, the defensive end, the senior. So it's going to put the Dutch in a punting situation. You look at the linemen for the Dutch. They got some nice-sized linemen, just not enough of them.
Yeah. And on film, the punt team, it's been a weakness of theirs as well, getting the snap back. So this will be interesting.
It takes a lot of work. It really does. We know because we had the snap over the punter's head last night.
Oh, they got it off.
It's going to high end over on kick. It's going to go out of bounds. My God, they got a roll.
Monster bounce right there.
Yeah. I thought it was going out of bounds. It'll be 1st and 10. Mona Shore's ball is going to be marked right at the 46-yard line. Okay, this is going to test Kimmin if he's really the best in the business.
He got it.
Yeah, he did get a nice job, Kimmin.
So when talking with Coach Koziak a little bit before the game, he has the most confidence in Jonathan Pittman as quarterback. He knows what kind of arm he has. I think he wants to see a little bit more of the running game from him, but I think that also comes from experience.
Well, I tell you what, you brought up a great point. I'll get to that in a minute. Twins to the top, twins to the bottom. Pittman going downfield. Got another wide receiver open, and you got another Sailor touchdown. That's number 10.
Take a look on the Lake Michigan Insurance Instant Replay.
Kewan Farnham. Boy, Pittman's going to pad some stats tonight there, buddy.
Yeah, it'll be interesting how long Matt keeps.
Who's going to be the backup then tonight? Star from the JV, maybe? I wonder. Could be. Yeah. Well, the game, unfortunately, neither of you guys could make the game because of other commitments last week.
And the change of the day and everything else.
But I tell you what, Pittman looked really good throwing the ball. At times, a little underthrown, a little bit overthrown. But I tell you what, against the caliber of Rockford, he looked good. I thought the team looked great in the first half.
They did. Man, and honestly, I don't know if it was you get up that far on a Rockford team, which was expected to give you fits all the entire time that you were there. Did the team, did the players fall back on their heels a little bit, just kind of trying to hold it? It seemed like there was a lack of urgency to really do much, or did they just run out of gas?
That's what I think it was, to be honest with you. And Matt talked a little bit about that. They had seven. We had seven two-way players last week.
Oh.
Rockford has over 100 kids on their roster, and not only they have over 100 kids on their roster, so no one plays both ways for them, but they have reserves that can come in and be just as good and start on other teams, so they can just roll kids in and out. And I do think that was part of it. And we did have a couple bad breaks, too.
No, we did exactly. And that goes why I think Matt was trying to milk the clock to give his kids a break a little bit. Oh, there's a little action right there. Crosses the 20 down to about the 25. Yes, the official's going to mark the ball right at the 25-yard line.
I got an update for us.
Okay.
At Muskegon.
Oh, no.
Muskegon and Puffer are tied 7-7.
Wow.
Muskegon went right down the field early, and then I heard that Reese Puffer returned the kickoff for a touchdown.
Stop it. What do you got, like an insider there somewhere, buddy?
Nick, don't worry about how.
Yeah, no, I do worry about you. Stevie Stats. See, Stevie Stats got eyes everywhere.
Actually, Chad Lee's there.
Oh, is he?
Oh,
Okay.
Fantastic. Chad Lee, great supporter. Trophy House, great supporter of us. Nice pass there.
Is his wife a teacher?
Yes.
At Puffer?
Yes.
See how I put that together, Joe?
Mm-hmm.
Chad Lee, Puffer, wife.
Chad went to Reese Puffer.
Did he?
Yeah.
Well, we can't hold that against Chad.
Chad, great supporter of ours.
Oh, yes.
Man,
yeah, the swag that we wear right now.
That's right. With the swag that we wear, the trophy that we got for the Battle of the Badger. I tell you, he was instrumental in making that thing happen.
Hey, you know what? We got to try to get Chad on when we broadcast.
We should go.
You know what? We'll have Stevie get out to Chad and invite him. That would be fun.
Holland looking to try to move it down the field. They're not able to get much. 3rd and 9. 3rd
and 9. Ball's going to be marked at the 27-yard line. We're down to 8 minutes counting here in this first quarter. One more score by the Sailors, and we keep the Dutch out of it. We will be in running clock mode. RCM. I thought of that one myself. RCM mode, running clock mode. Yeah. No, trips to the right, split to the left. Little option. There's a pitch to that outside. He's going to get nowhere, and he's going to lose about 1 on that carry.
Trent Rosenthal's really flowing well. He came in and read that and made the
I'll tell you what, it is so nice to see Trent dressed and playing, because there was some concern last year that he may never play sports again, and everything that they did, God, it's just great to see that kid. He's a wonderful young man.
Comes from a very athletic family.
Yes.
I coached his sister Riley, and then he has Ben, the older brother, that was a good basketball player, and Trent's a good athlete himself. So.
Yeah, he's a multi-sport athlete as well. He might be playing basketball this year. I was talking to the coach last night at just to shoot around there. Yeah, Brad Kerr. Oh, there's a nice-looking punt. This is going to be returnable if it gets a little bounce. There we go. Vinton.
I feel good about this.
Vinton's going to go around that right side. He's got a convoy down to the 30. Sloan setting. 15, 10, 5. Jalen Vinton taking the convoy to the touchdown. Boy, he just set up his blocker so nice, too. It was nice to see. You know, a lot of backs will catch a ball and outrun their blockers. He just slowed it up, let him get upside, dipped in a little bit, kicked it back out. We got that on replay.
And then I think at the end it was Jamari Taylor who kind of turned his body and kind of sealed it. We'll see it here.
Yeah, here it is right here.
The replay.
Now look, he slows it up right there.
Yep.
Right there. Yep, you're right, Steve.
Be careful, that's not a telestrator.
Oh,
You're
no, I know.
You're almost writing on it.
Yeah, I know.
Terpstra with the hold, Pulaski with the kick. And that makes it 27-0. 6:38 left in the first quarter.
And we are now in the RCM. That's a running clock mode, Joe. I just wanted to
RCM, look at that.
Yeah, running clock mode, baby.
Why don't we take a quick break and we'll talk about your RCM.
Okay.
We'll be right back.
Looking to buy or sell? Look no further than our broadcast booth sponsor, John Vandervelde at Nexus Realty. Give him a call at 231-759-3634 or go see him at 880 West Broadway Avenue in Muskegon. Nexus Realty, team-based real estate professionals.
Want to welcome everyone back to Sailors are in the RCM, the running clock mode here at Sailor Stadium for the Sailor Salute. Steve's going to fill us in how this came about. Traditionally, it's second half only, up by 35. But it is a little different for this game. Boy, there's a boot. Takes it at the 5.
That is a foot.
Cross to the 10, down to about the 15, all the way out to about the 17-yard line. At 17-yard line will be 1st and 10 for the Dutch on the far east hash here at Sailor Stadium. The revamped turf at Sailor Stadium with the artificial turf, and it looks gorgeous.
You know, I was talking with the Bard brothers, and I thought, man, that's all that grass they don't have to mow anymore.
Yep.
They said that this is not a maintenance-free field. As a matter of fact, there's quite a bit of work that they need to do because of all the divots and everything else. They have brooms that they have to literally push the rubber pellets and stuff back into place so that it's level and people don't trip.
A lot of places have like a spinning brush.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Yeah, did that come with the...
I bet it will at some point.
300, the 300, the 700.
If they're out doing it by hand with a broom, I'm sure it will.
Well, if the Bards are listening, I don't see why you're not out there right now because I see some divots, for heaven's sake. Hope you guys are doing good. Miss you up in the booth here. Know that family time is much more important, and want to wish your dad the best. How he retired after 2 years ago. Now he's on his second year.
No kidding.
And
wow.
So he's a grandfather.
How about that?
So good for him, and I hope all is well. We look forward to doing a baseball game, maybe 2 this year. Little slant across the middle. There's a little bit of action across the 30 down to the 35-yard line. There's going to be a first down for the Dutch. So, Steve, here's what we got to look at now.
That's a good pass.
All right,
by Powell.
we still got some.
We still have them, for the most part.
Yep. That defense, number 24, Jesse Love. Number 60, Jamari Taylor. Number 72, Jeremiah Love, brother to Jesse. And number 24 is Andrew Baker. Your linebackers, Rothensaw, Farnham. The Rover is Vinton for this game. Defensive back, Hall Brown, Banker, Terpstra, and Farnham.
That was Taylor on the stop for the Sailors.
Well, there's a kid I wish it was on.
Gentlemen, we got a little over 200 people enjoying this broadcast between the two, both Facebook, Sailor Nation Sports Network group, and our YouTube. We'd like to thank you all for joining us. I do know that there's a few people that have been putting on there where they're watching from. I'm going to go back and look. See, you haven't kept all of the states so far yet.
I haven't kept the state, but it's 27 total. I know the number.
Well, you're not going to know how many are new.
Yeah, I know. This mine doesn't. It's like a steel trap. John.
Do you believe he even thinks it's 27, or is he just saying that?
No, I'm dead.
I think 27's in his head because 27 is the score. So looking at this, we want to thank everybody again. And there's a lot of people appreciating our broadcast on here. We've got John Baker, who has always been a super supporter of ours. He's watching from Watertown, New York. We've got Arkansas. It's I believe that is Gerard Jemerson.
Yep.
He has been one of our original fans.
Classmate of mine.
Yep, that's correct. Western Georgia. Let's see if I find any others on there. As I go, please feel free. LaGrange, Georgia is on there as well.
We're strong. You know what? We're strong in the Southeast Conference. Nick Saban and I, SEC Network.
Right.
Yeah, rumor has it the SEC wants us.
We love listening and hearing where you're watching from. You are the reasons, truly, those that can't get out here, whether they're shut-ins because of illnesses or injuries or just can't seem to make it out to the game, or if you're in another state and you're an alum or you just truly have a family member or friends that you want to watch this game. You are the reasons why we do this. This is exactly for you, and we love all of our subscribers, the people that watch. Thank you all for making it so successful.
It brings down a 4th and 11. Ball's at the 35, the Dutch in punt formation. It's a spread formation. One personal protector on the right side, as he's probably a right-footed punter. Yes, he is. Nice punt. Got some good air time. It's going to take a good Dutch roll all the way down to about the 33-yard line where the Sailors will take over 1st and 10. So, Steve, we were talking about once we got the running clock in, how long do you think you're going to see the starters in for? First quarter and then call it a day?
Probably, maybe a little bit in the second quarter, but they still have to play a little bit too, but obviously it's that fine line, right, of running up a score versus injury but I don't think we're going to see him very long. And, after a tough game last week against a Division I powerhouse in Rockford, I don't think that it's such a bad idea to have a little rest here.
Trap.
Barnum.
Barnum's going to bust loose 50, 40, 35, 30, 20, 10, 5. Can I say it again? Touchdown, Motor Shores.
Cohen, see if you can swing around and grab some of the minute of change people watching.
I guess
we may see the
really
end of it.
Right? Yeah, and unfortunately, this isn't a very surprising thing that's taking place. But
all right, stick with that, and we're going to be putting it up on the board once they do. There we go.
Terpstra on the hold. Pulaski ready to kick. Wahlberg snapping, I believe.
1:28 here in the first quarter remaining.
Yep.
There, the kick is up. It is. Boy, this kid has just got a beautiful foot. Kick is good. So your score with 1:28 remaining in the opening quarter. Sailors comfortably up 34. 34-0. That's what I thought.
So we're looking at the minute of change while we were waiting on that. The cheerleaders going through, and what they're doing is they're collecting any money that somebody wants to donate. It's going to the local VFW. That's another one of the things that they're doing here for the Sailor Salute in support of the military and everything else. I tell you, everything that they wrap up into this thing is so spectacular.
Yeah. And, hey, Kimmin, can you get a picture down on the track of the robotics, that little robot that's shooting some stuff out there? This is pretty cool. Look at it here. It's going to go down, and then they were shooting some stuff up into the stand. So looks like they're pulling it over right now. Thanks, Kimmin. They were shooting some stuff into the crowd, which is kind of, oh, there you go, Kimmin. Thanks, buddy.
In talking to Matt before the game, he said the one thing about this turf field is that with the Sailor Salute, they can't do the MS in red, white, and blue.
Oh, yeah, right. You can't paint over it.
Yeah. He missed that.
Boy, I tell you, this kid gets it down to the 5-yard line all the time. One thing Coach Chuck was telling me at Veer Camp this summer, that this young man is so consistent. He doesn't worry about the kickoff team because they know where it's going all the time.
Well, I have another update, boys.
Yes, he does. Stevie Stats from his
Ackley
insider.
Stadium with 7:45 left in the second. Puffer is up 14-7.
Wow.
Stop it.
I cannot believe this.
God.
Hey, Kimmin, when you get a chance after this next play, if you would look over the bleachers on the visitor's side, you're going to see that Black Hawk helicopter out there. I want to show that
off to the south side.
Yep, but after this play.
38 seconds remaining here in the running clock. The RCM, as I've dubbed it. Twins to the top and bottom. Correction, we've got a tight end off to the right. Quarterback's rolling out to the right. Should just keep it and run, son. And he's going to throw it out of bounds.
All right. Kimmon's getting a great shot of that Blackhawk helicopter, landed out in the baseball field.
Coach, check on the reception there. Excuse me.
We're just about to the end of the first quarter. At halftime, that helicopter will be leaving, so we'll have a great vantage point to show you guys that helicopter leaving.
And we have come to the end of the first quarter of action here in the 9th Annual Sailors Salute. Your Sailors are up 34-0. Hey, we're going to give you a 1-minute break, but you can come right back after that.
From truck beds to bed beds, we've got your home and auto covered. Combine your home and auto with Lake Michigan Insurance Agency, and you could save $650. That's like 325 gallons of gas, or 21 sets of comfy sheets. So, trust our experts to find the perfect amount of coverage for you, making sure you're covered when you need it and how you need it. We shop a variety of insurance providers, industry leaders like Citizens and Frankenmuth Insurance, to make sure you get the highest quality coverage at the lowest possible rate. In Muskegon County, trust Ryan Rozicki to start a quote for you today. Visit Ryan at our Norton Avenue office in the Park Place Shopping Center near Goodwill and Pikes and Courts Restaurant, or visit lmcu.org/insurance to get started.
I want to welcome everyone back. I jumped the gun here. Kimon, go back to the helicopter a minute. Okay, so Joe, fill us in here on the helicopter.
Yeah, so the Blackhawk helicopter here for Sailors Salute will be taking off during halftime, so we'll have a great shot of that taking off.
All right, so it's going to be second down, 19. Ball's on the 18-yard line. Twins to the top, split to the bottom. Now we got trips to the left, split to the right. Lone back is a fullback. Holland back to pass.
Oof.
This kid loves to throw.
Oh. So, hey, it happened at the end of the quarter just a second ago, and here he had a chance to do it. But there's a new rule change in high school football this year with intentional grounding. So they changed it to look more like the pro and college style, too. So you don't have to have a receiver in the area when you throw the ball. It just has to go past the line of scrimmage, and you have to be out of the pocket. So hey, we saw that a second ago on this end.
See, how does Steve get all these stats?
I'm telling you, it's all in the genes. It's the whole Howard Cosell thing.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, well, he's a great grandson of Howard Cosell. And he probably teaches a stats class at Reese Buffer, for all I know. This kid just loves to throw the ball. And say, there's a nice little pack. Oh, nice block, boy. If he could have got around that corner, he may have gone for a few more yards. But it's going to bring up a fourth down.
So, Steve, why don't we talk a little bit about the Core Realty Trivia Challenge? But I want to do this because we posted, since we weren't able to broadcast, we posted the questions last week for everybody on the Sailor Nation Sports Network Facebook group page. I have the answers for that, and we're also going to reveal the questions of the this week. So let's do the one from last week first.
Rockford, so this is the Core Realty for all your commercial realty needs. Troy Wasserman, Core Realty. Rockford currently holds the state record for consecutive playoff appearances. What is the total? And that answer is, it's a
right
big
after
one.
this punt.
That's Andrew Grimm.
Nice cuts there.
He's slippery.
So, again, that question. Rockford holds the record for the consecutive playoffs. The answer?
20.
27. And it looks like it's going to be 28 this year.
27 consecutive playoff appearances.
I have 27 right here. I have visual confirmation what I wrote down.
You did. I see it.
Look at that.
Yep. So that loss last week, which easily could have been a win if they would have been able to finish that game, was a huge opportunity that we just didn't capitalize on.
Andrew Grimm at quarterback, little spin trap action. Number 7 going to carry the ball down to the 7, down to the 5. He's all the way down to about the 2-yard line.
And that's Terpstra at quarterback.
Yeah, Terpstra is now in at quarterback.
Brandon Bankard in at fullback. Okay, a bowl with Andrew Baker. We got C.J. Dunn is in. Jesse Love, Wahlberg going back in. So we got wholesale substitution coming out here. It looks like a freeway.
While they're doing this, you want to do the question of the day?
Yeah, see if they get a playoff and what they're going to do here. Don't want to miss it in case it's it looks like they're lining Sam Wahlberg.
Oh, Wahlberg's going to go for the touchdown now.
So that's why the shuffling occurred.
Yep. Sam Wahlberg, touchdown. Sam Wahlberg.
Let's take a look on the Lake Michigan Insurance Instant Replay.
This has been a tradition by the Sailors with Coach Koziak, letting the linemen score a touchdown with a big big lead.
Yep.
And oh, look at that! Nice job, Kimmin. Oh, this is a nice view right here. Look at Sam. Look at the freight train going through that line right there. I'll tell you.
That's awesome.
Good for Sammy.
You want to talk about a kid that pancakes players, man.
Oh, yeah.
He is, man, that kid just takes it to
Kick
people.
is up, and
just like
it
his dad
is
did.
good. So we're about a quarter of the way through this second quarter here with 8:37 remaining. The Sailors are up 41-0. All right, Stevie, trivia question. Let's get it rolling
this
here.
Week's trivia question, and we kind of talked about this the first home game, but I wanted to reiterate because I thought it was pretty important. Or I thought it was pretty interesting. So prior to Matt Koziak being hired in 2011, Mona Shores only had 4 first-team All-State selections. Since Matt was hired, how many have they had? So only 4 before Matt, how many since? And that's your Core Realty Partners trivia question, courtesy of Troy Wasserman for all your commercial realty needs.
So he started in 2011, so this is his 11th season.
Are you going to process out?
I am.
This out loud
Well, I
for
thought
us?
I had it. Yeah. I'm going to process this one a little bit.
Can we get a good shot of the band over there jamming? Oh, we missed it. We're going to try to put it up on the board, but maybe we'll get it the next time. How about the crowd? We got some good straight up shots of the crowd right now.
Grimm coming off.
Got some good shots of the student section for you.
Okay, there's that robot out there again, Kimmin, too. Get that little robot down there on the track, Kimmin. Look at it. Ooh, it's shooting some red stuff out there. That's pretty cool. Getting the student sections all geeked up right now. The robotics class. That is so cool. They load that bad boy up. And
So let's add Boca Raton, Florida, Wake Forest, North Carolina, Arizona.
Oh, that kick's going to go out of bounds with the flag. Ball's going to be marked. Best field position of the day for the Dutch is going to be marked at the 35-yard line via the penalty on the kickoff.
St. Joseph, Michigan, the Villages, Florida, Fort Mills, South Carolina.
Ooh, we haven't had many from South Carolina. That's good.
Watching from Buffalo, Phoenix, Arizona.
Couple score updates here. Montague 21-0 over Orchard View. Ravenna 26-0 over Holton. Reese Puffer still 14-7 over Muskegon. Zeeland West up 22-0 at halftime over Zeeland East.
It'll be a running clock. Yep.
Wyoming and Union 0-0. I'm not sure that score has been updated.
Rumor has it Union is forfeiting next week. I just somebody showed Union numbers. Somebody showed me.
Union or Wyoming?
Union.
A little high on the pass.
And I just saw Don Fellows last Friday at Dockers.
Of course you did. I don't remember taking the Dockers.
Is that where we're going?
That's where you're taking
next
next time, huh? Good.
Well, I thought we were going to the Pole Club tonight, for heaven's sakes. But no, Stevie's going to get ready for his tailgate. See, why don't you throw a tailgate for us here at Sailor Nation Sports People?
We're seeing
there you go.
Seeing some guesses coming in on that Core Realty Trivia Challenge. 22. is one of the guesses.
That's my guess right here, 22. That's what I'm sticking
Somebody
with.
asks, and this is going to be a challenge for you, Steve, who were the 4 previous All-State selections?
Ooh.
Well, Joe, since you ask, they were in 1983 David Howell, in 1991 Steve DeLong, in 2002 Eric Carruthers. Yeah, the Steve DeLong guy. And in 2009 Keontre Miskell.
There you go. So those that ask, you receive.
Stump me on the air too, huh?
Oh, I knew you had it. I was just setting you up. It was good. Attempted pass goes incomplete. Well covered by the Sailors.
Flag on the play.
Maybe too well covered. Yep. So again, you're seeing a lot of the second, third string getting some action out there on the field.
Oh, update on the Muskegon score. 14-13. Puffer still up, but 14-13 over Muskegon.
Zeeland West, one of my picks, up handily over Zeeland East.
All of our picks, that one was.
Yeah.
The only one we did. I was the only one that went with Grand Haven.
Yes, you did. And I think
Do we have an update on that?
I don't.
Pass out to the right side, gobbled up by that defense.
Hoping
Anthony Cage on the tackle.
my Grand Haven friend out there can update us. Scott, maybe you can help us out here.
Yeah. Love if anybody has an update on the Grand Haven East Kentwood game. Boy.
6:31 counting down.
That sun went down. The cool breeze is coming in. It's a perfect night for football. You can hear the helicopter starting to fire up over there.
Oh, yeah, the light's going on, yep. Twins to the top, twins to the bottom. Fullback offset to the left. Second down and 10 to go for the Dutch. As Steve indicated, they have this game and one more game next week. We're going to take a timeout with the Dutch with 5:56 remaining until half. Your Sailors comfortably up 41-0.
Trophy House is your #1 source for fan gear, corporate and team sales, trophies, awards, and more. Visit them in their new showroom, right next door from their old showroom on Henry Street. If it can be logoed, they're your resource. Your brand is their business.
Welcome back, everybody. Hope you had a quick break. We are comfortably up 41-0. Kimmin, look at that. Look at the sunset tonight over the big pond of Lake Michigan. Next year, we'll be over there for a ball game.
It's going to be something else, I'll tell you what.
Yep, we're going to be doing a live stream. Trips to the left, split to the right, fullback off back, just a little bubble screen off to the left. He's got a little bit of real estate right down. He's going to pick up about 7-8 yards. It'll bring up a 3rd down and 3.
Rosenthal on the tackle.
Yeah.
See, David Brown is in there. Alvarado.
Pass goes incomplete.
Defended on the play by Bishop Davis.
A lot of kids going to get a lot of playing time today. And these are good games for the team that is significantly better. Could you get a chance to play some of these other kids that may not get a lot of PT time during the course of a season? Trips to the bottom here, split to the top. Looks like a tight man coverage right here. You got almost 11 people in the box. Slant across the middle is going to be tipped by the interior of that defensive line.
4:36 left here, second quarter.
Ball's going to go over on down to the Sailors. It'll be 1st and 10 for the Sailors.
Ladies and gentlemen, the UH-60 Blackhawk. That was here as part of the Michigan National Guard. Served the 238th Aviation in Grand Ledge.
We're getting ready to see the Blackhawk helicopter.
The pilot, CW4 Nates, the co-pilot, CW2 Caper, and the crew chief is Sergeant Moyer.
Terpstra at quarterback. Terpstra's going to go around that left side across 45, 40, 35, 30. Nice block, 25, 10, 5, touchdown, Mona Shores.
Nice block by Cotner at the end.
Yeah, Cotner at the end just slowing up, screening him enough. Hayden Terpstra's going to go about, rounded off 60 yards.
Good blocking down the way, making that's a heads-up play because he really ended up this sneaking by right there. That heads up that he's still coming down the field gives him just a couple extra steps. That's exactly what you need to do.
And Hayden was the JV quarterback last year for you, Nick.
He was.
Great athlete, good basketball
player.
player.
Got a chance to watch his little brother in 7th grade on Wednesday. Yeah. He busted an 89-yard touchdown run on a kickoff against Muskegon.
I know I've said it a few times, but I coached his dad, Kevin, at Puffer.
Did you coach the older brother, Keith?
Yeah.
Did you? Okay. Yeah, I was there with you. In fact, that was boy, you and I were, texting back and forth. That staff we had in 99 and 2000.
It was fun.
It was a fun group. You know who I think about? Rich McCarthy.
Rich McCarthy, yeah.
Yep, good guy.
All right, that helicopter is getting fired up. That is for sure.
Ooh, that robot keeps shooting away here.
Good time to score. Maybe they can take off while the break in the action here. Huh?
Yeah.
We'll be.
There we go. Look at Dan Vandermine pulling rank here on that official. That boy, Dan, you pull rank on that official down there. Let him know who's running the show here.
Keeping an eye out there.
We're going to take an official helicopter launch timeout here for Sailor Nation Sports.
Only at Sailor Salute.
Yeah, only at the Sailor Salute. The voice of the Sailors, Dan Vandermine.
Once again, we thank the efforts of Sergeant Sparks.
So the helicopter will take off here. It'll do a flyover of the field. Obviously we went under a running clock, which we're way ahead of schedule for a normal a game. The referees have taken an official timeout to be able to allow this to occur. That crew is ready to go, and they're going to be launching and lifting off here momentarily. Once again, those are joining us. We got about 230 people between the two broadcasts on Facebook and YouTube. Thank you so much for joining us here. Sailor Salute 2022. Your varsity Sailor football team taking on the Dutch of Holland, handily winning at this point a little bit before, about 3 minutes and some change before halftime, 41-0. And we are awaiting the Blackhawk departure.
So, instead of taking a television timeout, can we take like a helicopter
timeout? Yeah, this is pretty much a helicopter timeout.
Yeah, this is a helicopter launch timeout right here. It's going to burn up all the field just warming up, for heaven's sakes. Come on here, big boy. Let's get that. Get that bird in the air.
When you're flying something, I think they want to be absolutely sure that everything is right.
I would think so, yeah. Pretty much like that rocket going to the moon again, right?
Correct, yes.
Okay.
Yeah, I think you want to make sure that everything is correct.
Right. It's a lot different than just walking your chair down to the beach and setting it up.
Well, this is true.
Nick.
Well, yeah.
Like you did today.
Steve, I had a long day yesterday. I don't know if you know what I did yesterday. Game, came home, put decals on, got home at 11:15, in bed at midnight, up at 6. I just couldn't do it, Steve. I just couldn't put in a full day. I just
You
couldn't.
mean you lived in the real world, Nick?
Yeah, for a while I did. And for me to put in a 4-day week, come on now.
Oh, you poor soul.
I've got to transition in. And next week it'll be a 5-day week. I'll be working 5 days.
Oh, my gosh.
Do you think Sailor Nation Sports could have like a direct link to the captain of that and just say, yo, dog, where are we here,
It'd be
buddy?
kind of cool to have them talking over our broadcast.
Yo, see, that would be so cool.
But I do have a direct link to the Muskegon Respawn.
Of course you do.
And at halftime, it's 14-14.
Stop, 14-14.
Tighter than I expected, but Muskegon is doing what they did against, East
Come
Kentwood.
from behind the boys.
I think the referees are probably going to have this game go. I see Matt, Coach Koziak, is kind of winding it up, telling them to go ahead and do that.
Yeah.
We will come back to when that does take off. And
is this Kimmon's shot right here?
Yes, this is Kimmon's shot right here.
All right, Kimmon, so if we're going to get going.
So Kimmon, obviously, kind of keep an eye on that. We'll keep an eye on it as well. They should be taking off here soon. I don't know if they're going to get going on the game or not. Those that are just joining us, we're getting ready to watch the Black Hawk takeoff here as part of the Sailor Salute outstanding events that they have going here. So many of them, traveling Vietnam.
Now, Joe, you got a lot of connections. Can you get us a helicopter go somewhere here? Isn't there like a fire department helicopter at the airport?
Not yet. We do have a drone. We have 2 drones.
Well, we
3 drones.
get on a drone and fly somewhere.
No, but hey,
oh,
here
we
we go.
Goes. All right, go back.
Black Hawk
Whoa,
is
here we
taking
go.
off.
The poor Bard's baseball field.
I know it.
He was a little worried about what that might do to the baseball field.
And they thought they were going to play football. Yeah.
Black
cool
Hawk
is this?
taking off.
This is too cool. That guy, I get goosebumps just watching it. Look at that thing hovering.
I see people over there running from the dust storm that's going on over there.
Look at that. This is just sick cool. I'm like a kid.
Only at Sailor Salute where you get this kind of stuff.
That's right, baby.
Well, and the other thing is, too, having you asked the question during our pregame show,
Yep.
how do you get one? And it's a lot of paperwork.
Yes, it is. What do you think? Okay, how cool would this be? Comes in between the goalposts, dips down, flies back up.
Yeah, I don't think you're going to see that. They may fly over one more time, but
that was cool.
They might want to blow off the tennis courts, too.
Yeah, they're probably going to need it.
Yeah.
Those Bard brothers are going to be working.
If the Bards were watching this.
All right, Bards, listen up now here, boys.
You might want to check the baseball field
you
tomorrow.
thought you had the weekend off. That's not happening.
All right, we are back to some football.
Sailors getting ready to kick off right here for the umpteenth time. It's a high-end overhand kick. It's going deep to the left. It's going to be taken at the 5, 10, crosses 10, down to the 15. Great coverage right there.
Andrew Grimm.
Grimmer in on that tackle, the quarterback, special teams unit. Boy, that is a dust storm right there, isn't
Sure
it?
is.
Holy smokes, like the Sahara.
It's not going anywhere, too.
No.
The wind earlier would have just taken that.
Yeah, I know.
Pushed
It's
away,
just
but
drifting over there ever so slowly.
hope nobody's got their windows open in their car. Oh, look at that. Kimmon's got a great shot of that dust
Look
storm.
at that.
Whew.
Cut away for the Bards. Cut away. Cut away.
Okay, Bards, where are you? We need you.
So the Dutch take over just shy of the 15-yard line.
The receiver and Powell were not on the same page on that one.
No.
2:47 left.
We are in the RCM. What does that stand for kids?
The running clock mode.
Running clock mode. God, don't you just love that little term I came up with today? Joe, I see the fire department's here representing the truck.
They are,
look at that.
Kimmon's got a good shot of them across there.
Yep.
Always here, usually representing every home game, just to be here. And it proved, a few years back at that Muskegon game where we had Mr. Bob Merkel drop into cardiac arrest right in front of our booth here.
Yeah, that's right. Little pitch here.
Wrapped up.
He's going to lose about 4 on the carry.
Kimmin with a great shot of the band. Band will have a halftime show that we will cover. For those that want to see the band, we know you love it, and we're going to give it to you.
Yeah, there's nothing better than watching the band here at Mona Shores. Love to have the people come and really watch the band if they can. If not, we're going to bring it to you here live on Sailor Nation Sports.
That's correct.
Trip to the right, split to the left, fullback, offset to the right. Correction, offset to the left, going to go downfield. There's a nice little ball, and it is well defended. No flag on the play.
Yeah, no flag.
In the no-fly zone over there on that east side of Sailor Stadium.
No-fly zone.
That's a no-fly zone. You know where we got that? When I was coaching Spencer Stubbe, we nicknamed our defensive back the no-fly zone boys.
I like that.
Yeah, and they'd go, no-fly zone here. So that's what we nicknamed it, the no-fly zone. Just a little tidbit of trivia I just wanted to share with everybody in Sailor Nation Sports. So I think Steve should do a tailgate for us for some game, don't you? Homecoming would be a nice time, don't you think?
Yeah. I actually I have to agree with him on that. I mean, if you're doing all these, you're an expert tailgater.
Yeah, you just said there's a lot of work. You do it, Steve.
Display.
Well, I'll bring something. I'll bring something to pass. I'll bring something Greek. I'll bring some spanakopita.
Except you don't drink milk at tailgate, so we can't do it before the game.
Well, I could change that up for the special event.
So, Steve, why don't we go over the Core Realty question one more time?
All right. So the Troy Wasserman Core Realty trivia question for all your commercial realty needs. Prior to Matt Koziak being hired in 2011, Mona Shores had only 4 first-team All-State selections. How many first-team selections since 2011 has Mona Shores had?
Okay, I got my number. It's double digits too, kids.
We've seen a couple of guesses, one of them 22. Looking to see, trying to look in some of the comments to see. And there were some people that were reading off some of the 4. There was a question, who are the 4? That takes us to halftime. And Steve, what do you got?
Hey, so I don't think we spend enough time. The people at home don't know enough about us, and I wanted to just, before the band comes out, and take time. I know that 99% of the people that watch our broadcast love it, and I think that we are open to criticism. There's no doubt. Like everything in life, there's always going to be some people that aren't happy, and I just want everyone to understand a few things just to help people better understand a little bit more about Sailor Nation Sports Network and how it works. We're a large group of volunteers. We don't get paid. We do it because we love the community, and we have really high expectations for ourselves when we get up here. Just some facts, just so people know. We're all volunteers. Kimmin, our student intern Cohen on the cameras, Joe operating all the technology and letting us and talking when he can. Nick and I doing the announcing. Our telecast is free compared to most high schools around. It's a $10 charge to watch it, but we offer a free service. I don't know if some of you know, but Joe, the mastermind behind everything we do, he's the deputy fire chief of Norton Shores. That takes up a lot of his time in addition to everything else. Nick's a teacher. I'm a teacher. I don't even teach in the Mona Shores district, but I love Mona Shores, and I try to give back. And for those of you who, sometimes maybe people think we don't know a whole lot about football, but I want to let you know that Nick has coached football for 43 years. He was in 2000. What year was you were coach of the year and the assistant coach of the year? 2005. You're assistant coach of the year for Mona Shores. I was an all-state quarterback. I played college football. I coached varsity football for 15 years. Joe's been around sports his whole life. He played football here at Mona Shores. He's a sports junkie. You know, we didn't go to broadcast school. I don't have a broadcast degree. And, you know, I know last week our mic got stuck open during the band performance. You know, if you go to, if you watch a game tomorrow on TV, ABC, ESPN, they have a big truck that's outside the stadium that if something's on, they can hit a button and it goes off. And so I just want to let you know that we are open to suggestions, but we really try hard. And the amount of hours that we spend, and Joe spends setting up. I don't know what time you got here today, Joe. Probably
I got here at 11:30.
11:30.
I've been here since 11:30.
And you know, and then the amount of time that I try to put in the prep work to give you good information. So I just want to let you know that we thank all of our supporters out there. We appreciate your words of encouragement. And you know, and honestly, for all of those that aren't always happy with us, you know, we appreciate you too. And you know, there's a mute button too if you don't like what we're saying, but I want us to just stick with us, and we really appreciate the feedback we get, but also that you guys listen. So
and
thank
what
you.
and Steve,
well said.
Thank you, very well said, very well written. Hey, after the band's done, we got a special guest that I'm going to bring on here, former quarterback, and he'll be joining us. But right now, please, everyone, enjoy the band.
Is your band ready?
The next selection was written by Grace Slick and released in 1967 by Jefferson Airplane. Drawing inspiration from Lewis Carroll's Alice's Adventures in Wonderland, our arrangement features a brass ensemble including Noah Boyden, Isaac Model, Colin Patterson, John Pertner, DJ Craven, Brianna Burns, and Caleb Thompson. Then we make way for my section, the Sailor Drumline and Front Ensemble, to take over and be featured. We hope that you enjoy this evening's performance of White Rabbit. Good evening. My name is Allie Threadgill, and this year I'm the senior drum major of the Sailor Marching Band. Now, on your feet and join me as we play our school's fight song, Anchors Away. My name is Allie Threadgill, and this year I'm the senior drum major of the Sailor Marching Band. Thank you so much, Sailor Nation. We are grateful for the opportunity to perform here. We are so grateful to our staff and support network for making tonight's performance possible. Drumline instruction is provided by Adam Weber, Lucas Farmer, and Zach King. Color guard instruction is provided by Mickey Lehman, Molly Ryder, and Stephanie Summers. Ongoing wood instruction is provided by Drew Lucas. Our band is under the direction of Jason McCoy, Justin Sarnes, and Nick Sailor. With a huge shout out to Greg Lewis for everything he contributed to the band over the last 20 years. We also thank Mrs. Buster for her great support and encouragement. Thank you for being the best principal band we've ever had. North Shore Band Association and its president, Mr. Miller. You do so much for us, and we cannot thank you enough. Thank you for caring for us and helping us work to be the best we can be. Most importantly, the students and parents who contribute to make our band's success a priority. We thank you. Finally, we dedicate every performance this year to our friend and fellow musician, Ryan Laney. May his memory serve as a blessing and inspiration to us all.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's hear one more
Don't just find yourself, make yourself. Start businesses, build bridges, save lives, raise a whole city. This is your future, so take it and move all of us forward.
Moving is always a battle. Well, it's Green Door Movers to the rescue. We're the Movengers. We can fight the moving battle for you in a green, environmentally friendly way. Our green-vested heroes have a 5-star Google rating. Give us a call today.
Oh, is he still there?
Yep. So he's a senior now, and
okay.
You know, we get work after practice all the time. You know, it's kind of developing a bond between the two.
No,
two of
that's
us,
good.
So
that's
it's going
great.
well.
So tell us, college versus high school, pretty different, huh?
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, the workload's different, especially
Yeah.
during fall camp. I know we're at the facility for 14 hours out of our day.
Are you really?
Oh yeah, from 6 a.m. to 8 o'clock at night.
Wow.
And then obviously, like, the mental game is completely different. You know, learning a whole new offense at that level is it was definitely an eye-opening experience to me.
Yeah.
All like the verbiage and all like the pre-snap and post-snap reads I have to get for from a defense. It's pretty intriguing to me. But you know, I'm having fun with it. I'm learning a lot. And
how many quarterbacks on the team?
5.
There's 5 of you.
Yep,
okay.
there's 5 of us.
For those that are just coming back from break, we are interviewing Mr. Mark Konechny now with the Western, coming back and enjoying some football here at the old alma mater. So continue. I just wanted to make sure everybody knew who we were talking.
So 5 quarterbacks.
Yep.
And so senior, junior, or I mean, what's the class range of the 5?
Oh yeah, so it's pretty interesting. So we have 2 redshirt freshmen.
Okay.
One of them's a third year because he had a COVID year and a redshirt year. And
Right.
one of them's a second year, and then we have a redshirt junior, and then 2 true freshmen.
Okay. All right.
So it's a pretty young room.
Yeah. It's a but you're getting, so you're throwing with the practice squad.
Yep, against the one defense, which is it's pretty good.
That
to see
is great practice. I mean,
yeah.
and lots of film as well, because I'm assuming they film every practice, right?
Yep.
Well, congratulations. That's great, buddy. What about your academic?
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's right. Academic workload, how is that going with classes now?
It's not bad. I mean, having like 3 classes a week is like it's pretty manageable workload. You just got to make sure you get on top of it on your days off and you're getting the work done outside the classroom.
What are you majoring in?
Exercise science so far. I might change, I might not. I'm still kind of going through
Exercise science, the
process.
science of exercising. Okay.
Yeah.
So, do you miss home at all? You miss home at all?
Yeah, I mean, how couldn't you? I mean,
Yeah.
Northern Shores, Muskegon,
Yeah.
being from Northern Shores High School, I definitely miss it a little bit. And it's
Yeah.
nice to come back and see a game once in a while.
But you know what? Going away to college isn't what it was 15 years ago, I mean, you got FaceTime, you've got cell phone. I mean, literally, you've got all the connection in the world. Mom and dad checking in with you every single day. You probably got to check in before you go to bed every night.
Yeah, I talk
to them. They're going to call you. And
I talk to them on the phone every night. Friends,
for you.
I can stay in contact with them. The guys playing at other colleges like Ryan McNiff and Elijah Johnson at Alma, and Drew and Kemper down at Hope College. And then Biddy at Saginaw Valley. Like I'm still in contact with all those guys. And
Good for you.
checking in on
You
how
need
they're
to keep
doing.
in contact with those guys.
well,
Now,
it will be fun when you guys are back in town at the same time to be able to hang out and share those stories again.
For sure.
Back in the day, okay, I'm going to share a story. A mere 1975.
I was one.
I was at Adrian College football, dial phone with cords at the end of the hallway in the football dorm.
Wow.
That's how we called people. And every Sunday night at 8 o'clock was my time to call my parents.
How about that?
Yeah, how about that?
It's a different day, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a
different
totally
day.
different day. Exactly. Well, it's good seeing you. Keep in touch. Now, when is your first home game coming?
Next week, next Saturday against Pitt.
Is it really?
Yep. So.
Oh, I'm going to call the old man up. I'm making a trip down there to watch that ball game. I'll tell you.
It'll be a really good game. Yep.
Yeah, because I don't have anything going. Oh, heck yeah, because I got Pilaf tickets for mom and dad for our thing on Saturday. So, I'll be coming down. So,
All right,
Marky,
sweet.
I'm going to let you go.
Thanks,
Great
Mark.
seeing you, buddy.
Appreciate it, bud.
Keep
Good
in
luck.
touch.
Keep doing good stuff.
Yeah, keep in touch. Mark Konecki, former All-State quarterback, 2-time state champion here at Mona Shores, stopping by to give us just a little talk here. And sounds like he's doing well. He's throwing against number 1 defense down at Western, so he's going to be getting a lot of looks and a lot of reps. And I see big things happening for Mark Konecki down at Western Michigan University. So, guys, let's get back into action. The Dutch are going to receive here. It's going to be RCM mode here. That's running clock mode here. 12 minutes in the fourth quarter. Sailors comfortably up 48-0. Joe, anything you want to add right now?
This was the game that we expected it to be. We switched over pretty early in the second quarter, I think, to our second and third string. They're playing well against what Holland has to give them. Holland has, made a little bit of strides here and there, but nothing to really move
Ball's
this
going to be
ball.
bounced. Sailors might be able to get that ball as they're digging down into it. We're going to wait the official to clear up the pile right now because the Dutch are letting it roll.
And it
is Mona Shore's ball.
Take a look on the Lake Michigan Insurance
Instant
Instant
Replay.
Replay.
At the 12-yard line right here. That kickoff team flying down there.
Wow.
It'll be 1st and 10. Mona Shore's ball is going to be marked right there at the 13-yard line. 1st and 10 for the Sailors. Ball's marked at the 13-yard line.
Wow, they were fast down to that ball.
Yeah, or Holland was really slow trying to figure out what to do.
Look at this.
Look at Steve. See.
Wow. Man, Steve just put up a magnetic light. Where's your milk crate? Where's your milk crate and your old light?
I was so embarrassed last year.
Wow, this is like, we got a Holland player down on the ground. It looks like he's okay. Yeah, Steve, you've really modernized our broadcast booth here. John Vandervelde and Exeter's Realty broadcast booth has just moved into the 21st century with
Steve,
LED.
where'd you get that at?
I don't know. I really don't.
Okay, how about a surprise gift next Friday?
Okay, all right.
Okay, thanks.
Star at quarterback.
Oh, star at quarterback. Yes, there's going to be a handoff. Touchdown.
Solomon
What
Robertson.
play? Solomon Robertson. Oh, we got Proud Daddy down over here next to us here. Oh, yeah, Daddy's taking him out for dinner tonight. Solomon Robinson from the JV getting a little love from all of us and a touchdown for the Sailors. Coach Koziak put in it's probably going to be lower level kids all the way through. Look at Stevie. What a great guy. Hey, Stevie, we got any stats here from that Muskegon Puffer game there over there?
Last I know, it's 14-14.
14, okay.
And East Kentwood's thumping Grand Haven by 21-0.
East Kentwood.
Zeeland West is up 30-0 over Zeeland East.
Oh, yeah.
Well, that's going to get one closer to Steve, but you are just on a roll.
I am. I'm undefeated right here, baby. Well, look, I don't know if you know this or not. Do you guys remember Jimmy the Greek?
Yeah, I do remember Jimmy the Greek.
Okay, he's related to me. Jimmy the Greek is related way down the tree there of the Davros family.
Yeah.
So I got a lot of my knowledge from Jimmy the Greek.
What did Mark D'Antonio say that kind of started that Michigan rivalry? Pride comes before the fall.
Yeah.
Well, fall is coming, Nick.
I am pretty proud right now. Can you say it? Undefeated? No, you
Not
can't,
yet,
but I
not
can.
Yet. We don't know about that Muskegon score yet.
Yeah, oh, I know it. Are we all on the same boat? Did everybody pick Muskegon?
Yeah.
Okay,
hey, Bob Keller wanted to let you know that they had the same phone situation in 1974 on the football team at Valparaiso University.
Oh.
And one dial phone at the end of the hallway.
Yes,
so it must have been the exact
Bob.
same.
Yes, Adrian College. And I lived, and back then it was an all-male dorm. We had phones on each end. And yeah, thank you, Bob. Love you very much, buddy. Yeah, see, there are people that remember things I remember. And we had to sign in girls that came to visit us. I was a resident assistant for 2 years in the dorm. Well, in theory, you had to bring a girl in the front end. Well, we had side doors.
I'm sure you did.
Yes,
good kick by Pulaski.
Pulaski going to go down to about the 16-yard line. Will be 1st and 10 for the Sailors, for the Dutch, excuse me.
Tamarian Stewart on the tackle for the Sailors.
Well, the first string group have done their job. The second string group has done their job. Now it's probably going to be turned over to just a lot of freshmen and sophomores that are going to just have their time of their life here playing at the big house here at Mona Shores on Sailors Salute Friday.
What a great experience for them.
Oh, yeah. 4-2-5 look for Coach Check in his defense. Fullback offset to the left. We got trips to the top. Split to the bottom. Little option look here. Quarterback's going to go down the sideline. Eventually, he's going to have to turn it upfield. Field's only so wide here. Steve and I were talking this week. The blowout games like this are absolutely, and Joe, I think you'll agree with it, absolutely the hardest games to call.
They are, because you want to give credit to the players and everything else, but when they're not doing a lot that's something to talk about, it's really hard for us to just grab stuff. So you'll find that we'll talk about history. We'll talk about the history of both of the teams and where the programs are going, and we'll talk about some of our own personal accounts within football, and that's kind of where our broadcasts go. We still continue to try to make sure that the game continues to be brought forward as the primary portion of our broadcast, but we're still trying to fill it with interesting stuff as well. So, and again, Steve, I wanted to go back to what you had said. I very much appreciate your words, and I know that there are some people out there that do provide some criticism of what we do, and that's okay. You're right. It is okay. We embrace everybody that is a fan of Sailor Nation. If you're watching us, we love it. Just know that we want to bring you the best broadcast that we can, and what you tell us, we take to heart. Maybe just
there's an interception. The quarterback's going to be another touchdown, maybe 2-1 touchdown. Mona Shores on the poor decision. I hate to say poor decision, but the errant decision by the quarterback to try to make something. God bless him for trying it, but it's a pick six for the Sailors. Who was it, Steve? Do we got a number?
I want to say it was Corey Buckwell.
Number 8. Corey Bothwell, my boy Corey from the JV. That's my boy.
Nick, I have a new term for you.
Oh, no, here we go.
SRCM. Super running clock mode.
Super running clock.
It's the super running clock now.
SCS.
It's not stopping for anything. Maybe an injury.
Super running clock mode. We got it. Super running clock.
Sorry, Joe. With that interception. So what did you?
Yeah, go ahead, Joe. Finish up. Sorry.
No, I mean, who would have expected a football game to interrupt a speech, right? Yours was much better timed, Steve.
Yeah.
But Joe, continue though what you were saying. We give the best we can with what we got to work with as well.
We try to give every last little bit of professionalism to this that we can, but we're not professionals at this. We're about as close to amateur professionals as you could possibly get.
We're professional amateurs. There's no question.
Sure,
about
absolutely. But I can tell you the thing that is most important to me is watching and listening people comment about how much they enjoy being able to watch these games.
For sure.
See their kids in the band, see the cheerleaders, see the events going on. And they're doing it from across the country, across the world. They're doing it from their living rooms when they can't get out, when they're sick. They're doing it from military bases that they would never be able to do this unless we were doing something like this. And that's where the enjoyment comes for us.
High end, high overend kick's going to be taken at the 7-yard line, but there's a whistle. Stoppage of play. Is there a flag?
Yes.
Where's the flag?
Where?
It was right here.
Oh, is it offsides?
And so, well, we have a second. And if you would have told me 3 years ago that I would be announcing Mona Shore's football games on Sailor Nation Sports Network, that wasn't really in my cards, and yet here I am, and I do it because I obviously enjoy both of you. I love Mona Shores. I love the Mona Shores community. And I love Coach Koziak, and I want to give back. That's really what I think we're all doing. We just want to give back and do the best we can, and we know we're appreciated out there, and we thank you. But it's just about giving back. That's really what it is.
We have covered 3 continents. We've been in at least 27 states. Can I name them? No, but roughly about 27 states.
Got to get yourself a little book with a map.
Yeah, I got to do all that. Well, Stevie Stats, wouldn't that fall under his category? Stat boy over here, am I right?
You kind of took it on.
Yeah,
man. Well, look at that leg on that. Even with the penalty, they backed him up inside the 5.
This kid has got a leg. De Kuiper had a strong leg. Keegan, but I'll tell you what, this young man, he's only a junior, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he's only a junior. We might be poking field goals here down the road. Oh, Stevie, can we go to the trivia question here? Because I'm itching to win this thing.
Well, I don't know. Joe's in control of the
Joe,
I got control of the buttons. How about we read the question one more time?
Yeah, let's read it because I've got the number. I'm telling you right now, this could be another win for me.
So Troy Wasserman of Core Realty Partners trivia question for all your commercial realty needs. The question is, prior to Matt Koziak being hired in 2011, Mona Shores had only 4 first-team All-State selections. How many first-team selections since 2011 has Mona Shores had?
After this play, we'll give you the answer.
Can I share my answer?
Well, sure you can.
Okay, right after this play.
You can.
Well, what do you mean? Well, why do you say it like that?
Because you've been asking. You want to share.
Okay. I'm going with 22. I figure Matt gets about 2 a year since I'm going with 22.
The answer?
24.
No! God.
But think about that, though.
Yeah.
In the time that he's been here since 2011, he's had 24. Prior to Matt Koziak in all those 50 years, whatever, only 4. That's crazy, man.
That is in 49 years. In 49 years of football, then 4 All-State.
And if that doesn't speak to what team success does for individual success,
Absolutely.
Right?
Oh, yeah, without a question. That's amazing. Trips to the right, split left, a little fade pass downfield. It's going to be caught. No, incomplete. Oh, we got a late flag here. They're coming in from everywhere. God, we have not had many flags this game at all, fellas. God, that was my close guess, though. Well, I was close.
Oh, yeah. He got right up in his grill on that one before the ball got
So we are now in official SRCM.
We're almost done with the quarter.
Yeah, super running clock mode.
So I got a couple scores here. Zeeland West is up 38-0 over Zeeland East.
Running clock
Ravenna
mode there.
54-0 over Holton. Muskegon Puffer update.
Here we go. 21-14.
21-14
Muskegon. Yep, there we go.
So very much like the East Kentwood game, where
yep,
they started
yep.
off slow. Obviously, we didn't expect that they. I wanted to see Muskegon play well against De La Salle. I picked them, but that's truly a powerhouse team that they took on.
Oh God, yes.
This game that they're playing is almost identical to the way that they played against East Kentwood.
Yep, little bubble screen out to the right.
What's
here.
our East Kentwood Grand Haven score? Do we know?
Last I knew it was 21-0.
East Kentwood.
Yeah. And since I picked Grand Haven, it doesn't really matter at this point.
You know, we should get bonus points for I don't know. We should pick one game. We should pick one game and try to guess the score.
Because
he's making up rules as he goes. He's trying to get back into
I'm adding a little flair to it. Oh, push-ups. Here we go.
Push-ups.
And let me bring it up here for the big screen
look
as
at
well.
Kim zooming in, the best in the business.
So you guys are going to watch both cheerleading squads do 22 push-ups. It's a 22 push-up challenge. It's 22 veterans a day.
Die a day?
Commit suicide.
A day?
22 veterans a day commit suicide. This is an intent to do 22 push-ups just in recognition of that. And here the push-ups are going on.
That's amazing. 22 a day.
All the cheerleaders, both sides, Holland and Mona Shores. Back to football.
Hey, I got a stat here. Oh, there we go. There's a little action. Julian Segovia on the reception for the Dutch. Biggest reception and yardage so far this game for the Dutch.
Anthony Cage on the tackle, defending the pass for Mona Shores.
I got a little trivia that I'm going to share with Sailor Nation Sports regarding the swinging gate and Steve bringing something up today. I feel I need to add some knowledge here. Trips to the right, split to the left, fullback, going on a little swing. Quarterback's going to dump it down on a little slip screen. Hey, this is a little action right here by the Dutch, looking good.
It's David Brown on the tackle for Mona Shores.
So Steve was talking about the swinging gate and why teams do it because, it gives them something else the opponents have to practice. The original swing gate was formulated in 1930 and still remains popular in high school and college. So 1930 was when the swinging gate was originated. So just a little facts and figures by yours truly.
So who do we have out there playing right now? Do we have some names that we can announce?
We do. Give us a second here. Trips right, split left.
It's going to be off the ground.
All right, let's try to get names and numbers here. You got it, Stevie?
There's Tamarian Stewart on coverage, I believe.
There was one of our
Tony
viewers
Vasquez
that wanted to know some of the names of some of these second and third string people that are out
No,
there.
we're going to try to get them for
Yeah,
you.
absolutely.
Boy, I wish I
Hill
had
McCorvey's out there.
And it passed the slant across the middle.
Stewart in that line.
Mari Billups on the tackle for Mona Shores.
It is incredibly important for these second and third string players to get this kind of play.
Oh, yeah.
It's a runaway game, obviously. I don't want to say that it doesn't mean anything. It doesn't mean anything to the scoreboard, but it means a tremendous amount for the development of players at game speed.
Oh,
Not only for the
absolutely.
future, but if you have somebody that's first string that goes down, you have somebody that's developing their talent to be able to step up and fill some of those roles.
8:33 counting down here in the fourth quarter. 9th annual Sailors Salute in progress. Looks like the Dutch are going to take a timeout, and we're going to take it with them in the super running clock mode. So we're going to be back in 1 minute, 8:23 remaining. You are listening to Sailor Nation Sports.
From truck beds to bed beds, we've got your home and auto covered. Combine your home and auto with Lake Michigan Insurance Agency, and you could save $650. That's like 325 gallons of gas, or 21 sets of comfy sheets. So, trust our experts to find the perfect amount of coverage for you, making sure you're covered when you need it and how you need it. We shop a variety of insurance providers, industry leaders like Citizens and Frankenmuth Insurance, to make sure you get the highest quality coverage at the lowest possible rate. In Muskegon County, trust Ryan Rozicki to start a quote for you today. Visit Ryan at our Norton Avenue office in the Park Place Shopping Center near Goodwill and Pites and Courts Restaurant, or visit lmcu.org/insurance to get started.
Want to welcome everyone back. We are in super running clock mode. We're down to 7 minutes exactly, kind of down. Stevie, take it over, buddy.
Well, let's watch Holland here for a second.
All righty, we will. Quarterback's going to roll out, and it's going to roll, and it's going to be out of the end zone.
So just receiver open.
Yeah, he did.
If he would have been able to get that down, I think they would have had a chance at scoring. Boy, look at that moon.
I know.
Kimmin.
Look at the moon.
Kimmon's got a great shot of that moon over the horizon. It's a full moon at 5:58 tomorrow morning. That is the official full moon. So that is about as full as you're going to see it right there.
Well, astrological canoe could all over that one for us, I'll tell you.
It's important to know when the full moon is.
Well, yes, it is.
In EMS and in fire, it makes a difference.
It makes a difference in the classroom.
Oh, yes, it does. In the classroom with the students. Oh, my goodness.
Trips.
Second down, ball's at the 7 yard.
Oh, that could have been a sack.
Oh, a little shot.
Oh, intercepted.
Intercepted. Stop it. Gives the Sailors refuse.
Is that Amari Billups? Yep,
Amari Billups saving the shutout for Coach Jack.
So we have a quick break here. Just some news to share. Sports action volleyball. Mona Shores beat Holland last night in 3 sets to improve to 11-3 on the year. Mona Shores is at the Fruitport Invitational tomorrow. Soccer, Mona Shores beat Grand Rapids Union 6-1 last night. Dan Vanderploeg had 2 goals, and the Sailors are 3-0 in conference play. And then finally in golf this week, the girls team finished first at this week's OK Green Jamboree. Mason Southland was the top finisher for the Shores in 3rd place. And I would also like to thank Ryan Brunworth for his recent donation to Sailor Nation Sports.
Thank you so much.
And his family.
We've had a lot of people stepping up recently, a lot of businesses, personal, private donations. That is all. It all goes back into this. It honestly goes back into this. We update equipment. We get new equipment, and it's really, thank you. We can't thank you enough.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Want to congratulate Steve on the, I tell you what, doing yeoman work, bringing in money for Sailor Nation Sports, all going for really something special that Stevie's been looking for.
We're trying.
A telestrator.
We are trying.
I am currently in the works of trying to secure some money right now, but Steve literally has check in hand, so he has shamed me on Sailor Nation Sports, and which he should. He delivers, I talk.
Grimm at quarterback.
Nice pitch. Good read. It's going to end up at about 15 to 17 yards, maybe almost 20.
I'm not sure we have a number. Dominic Piggy.
85.
Yep, Dominic Piggy.
Dominic Piggy. Any relation to Piggy over at Muskegon?
I don't know. Is he, Nick?
I don't know. I had a Piggy at Muskegon when I coached. This could be his kid.
Well, Piggy at Muskegon, his father passed away recently. Was that the one you?
Yeah, that might be the one. Yeah,
you coached.
Mm-hmm. God, if it is, I've lost
that
three.
Moon is beautiful.
Just gorgeous. If it is, there's 3 former players of mine that have passed away. Who's 45?
Grimm at quarterback once again. Tamarian Stewart with the carry.
Yeah, the carry-in.
He's coming out. Number 20, Hilma Corvey comes in.
Who's that? Is Grimm at quarterback?
Well, I want to keep that.
Yeah, Grimmer's at quarterback.
Yep.
Come back to that after this next play, Kimmin.
God, look at it. It is just gorgeous.
Clearly,
anybody out in Sailor Nation Sports, if you get a chance to go outside, look at the full moon if it's clear.
Yeah,
it
absolutely.
is just gorgeous. Twins to the top and bottom. Grimm at quarterback. Little trap.
Till McCorvey.
McCorvey. Well, you think Coach Koziak's going to get this kid the quick touchdown, right? He deserves it.
Well, I think Coach Koziak is going to use every second of the play clock. And I don't know if he'll take an. I don't know, man. Right? So you're in that tough. You want to get these kids some.
Well, you want to give these kids touchdowns, but yet you don't want to run it up. Right.
Zoom in on that.
Well, you go back
to the moon.
You go back
to
Union 2 years ago when we busted 75.
Look at that moon.
Union.
Showing it off on her.
Look at that on the big screen.
On the big screen over there. That moon is absolutely amazing.
Yeah, the Greek gods are strong up there, bringing up that full moon tonight. I'll tell you. There is nothing better than a Grecian moon. Oh, and he dives up and over for the touchdown. Yeah, good for him. That's something he's going to remember, his first varsity touchdown here.
So a little update from the Muskegon-Reese Puffer game. Score is 21-20 Muskegon. Apparently, Reese Puffer bobbled the extra point attempt, and the kick went wide. So there's 10-20 left in the fourth quarter.
God.
Thanks.
You know, once this game gets done, I might be busting over to Hagley Stadium to catch them.
No, you have cords to unhook.
Oh,
I got to leave and go to tailgate. I got to go get ready for tailgate. You're on cord duty tonight with Joe. Sorry. I almost slipped up and said I was going to the boat club, not home to tailgate.
You know what? I'm going to go to Joe. We're off to the boat club afterwards, and we're going to put it on DeLong's tab.
Oh, we have a new update, 28-20.
It said 0-0.
Muskegon.
They probably just ran the touchdown back. PAT is good.
Nice.
Wow, 69.
Was that Jeremiah Love kicking that?
Yeah, it probably was because he kicked off for us last year.
Yeah.
It was probably Jeremiah Love that was doing it. Good for Jeremiah. That's not a perfect moon right there. No, the bottom right-hand corner a little bit, I think.
It is completely full at like 5:57, 5:58 a.m. tomorrow morning.
So, Steve, you won't be coming to the Greek Pilaf dinner then tomorrow? It's like a festival atmosphere. I mean,
I'll be there.
Joe's going to be there.
I'll be there.
Joe's going to be there, Steve. What time are you leaving for A squared?
What time is the
no, answer my question first. My question comes
9 o'clock in the morning.
So that is the end of the game.
It is. Happened quick.
Yeah.
Wow, we were talking.
Super running clock.
That super mode running clock. Well, it is what we expected it to be.
Totally.
There is no questioning the outcome. Yeah, I bet it was Howard Clark.
Timekeeper.
Yeah.
69 to nothing.
Yeah, Howard had to work that first quarter, and then he called it a day. Pretty much just run it by
himself. So, as we wrap up Holland in Mona Shores here at the Sailor Salute, it was a perfect night for football, perfect night for the festivities. We take on Wyoming away.
Okay, Joe, this is what I wanted to talk about. Some members of Sailor Nation Sport want to know. They are part of this
NFHS.
Right. If they're part of it, tell us what are the ramifications of them being part of it and us not being able to broadcast it.
So we are looking at the potential of joining into the NFHS for the very reasons of last week. Not being able to bring a Rockford game or even the playoffs is very detrimental to us. If we were to decide, it would end up being a pay-to-view for us. But some of those proceeds would go directly to us as well. So your subscription would be part. We have not made that decision yet. I'd be interested to hear what people say, what your opinions are on that. I know that free is very good, and we've been doing a fantastic job, but it is limiting to us for the broadcasts that we cover. So with that being said, we're talking to the NFHS. We would not want to change what our broadcast is.
Or the quality of it. That's your concern right there.
Yeah, and those are all things that questions will have to be answered appropriately for us to even consider it.
So if we don't go through NFHS, will we still be at the Wyoming game?
That I have to look into. Okay. I don't believe Wyoming is one of the NFHS teams, which would probably give us the ability to be there.
All right.
They are one of the teams.
Are they?
Yes. There's only one in our conference that's not, and I believe I looked them up. It is Union that is not a member.
So we'll have to determine whether or not we can have that broadcast next week. We do not like giving up games that we can't broadcast. Just because it's an NFHS school, which they have proprietary rights to that broadcast. So here nor there, we're doing the best job that we can, and we're trying to expand and make sure that we're giving you most broadcasts that we can as well.
So let us know what your thoughts are.
Yes, let us know what your thoughts are.
Because if we're unable to for most of the season, it means only 4 or 5 games, depending. Like this year, it would only be 4 because we only have 4 home games. Next year it would be 5, no playoffs.
Yep.
And so
that's for all sports too. That's
all sports. So we need to know what your thoughts were.
Yeah.
So Joe, take us out of here.
Well,
brother.
with that being said, Sailor Salute has been a success. It's a win. It's a conference win. It puts us at 2-1. We would have loved to have been able to see a better game, and we wish Holland's program the best as they continue to go forward. Thank you all, close to 250 people between the two broadcasts. You are always special to us. This was a special broadcast, and we'll see you on our next one.